Let me talk to you. We are on the road to WrestleMania, but before we get there, we have one pit stop, that being the Elimination Chamber. But who punched their tickets to WrestleMania? Your Elimination Chamber review and the news of the week in pro wrestling is coming up because the show starts now. I
So
can
we are
guarantee that.
officially on the road to WrestleMania. And I don't know, it seems to be a bumpy road in my estimation.
A bumpy road, it's a smooth road.
Oh, it's bumpy as fuck.
Why is it bumpy?
Well, I mean, do you want to just get into where do you want to start?
Well, we can start with Raw.
Okay.
We'll start with Raw, we'll work our way to SmackDown, and then we're gonna get into the Chamber. What?
All right. Let's dive into it then.
Alright, so we start with Raw. Let me get the stuff up here.
Well,
What
Becky
did we
Lynch
start
opens
Raw
the
with?
show,
Yes.
and I skipped most of it. Basically, the gist is that um, Becky and Bayley want their WrestleMania moment, and Bianca Belair gives them an opportunity to be in the Elimination Chamber if they can win a triple threat match against her. And yeah, so that was set. I guess that was the main event.
that was the main event. Let me tell you my rendition of it.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So we open the show with Raw with Becky Lynch. She comes out, welcomes everybody to Monday Night Raw, as usually the first person does. She says she wants to earn her spot in the she wants in on the Elimination Chamber so she can go to WrestleMania and challenge Bianca Belair. Bayley comes out and says, pretty much no. So they're bickering back and forth for a spot in the Elimination Chamber. Out comes Bianca Belair looking like a fine snack of, I don't even know. She looked like a whole grocery store full of snacks in those shorts. And she comes out. She says, I'll give you a shot if you can beat me. So Adam Pearce makes it a triple threat match. Whoever wins is in the chamber, unless Bianca Belair wins. They're both out of the chamber. So that was the setup for the main event.
How,
I guess the whole point of saying that is to talk about how good Bianca Belair looked in when she came out. That's why I
okay.
needed to bring that back up.
She's got
Because
like
my God, those shorts, she was pulling those off.
she has that face that looks like she's been hit by a frying pan though.
We're not talking about her face.
I am. I can't get past it.
She has a face. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she doesn't do it for me. But you know, God bless you for 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 that rendition.
Well, there you go. And you know how I am. And she does it for me.
No, I don't. Why don't you explain to our audience?
No, they don't need to know.
All right.
They'll, if they listen, they'll pick up on it in time. If you really listen. So we move on to a Judgment Day segment.
Is this when
Um,
they're all three backstage?
yeah,
Yeah, they're all going to win their matches. We can move on.
yep. This is all setting up for the Elimination Chamber. That brings us to our first match of the night: Judgment Day versus the Street Profits. They mentioned Rhea Ripley wasn't there because she was doing promotion for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I was excited because that means we weren't gonna have to see 11 to 20 reaction shots of her. We can just focus on like what's going on in the ring. It's great.
Yeah, so we get this match. From what I remember, it was a pretty good match, but you know, that's all you can really say about it. It wasn't like over the top, nothing like, oh, go back and watch this match. It wasn't none of that, but it was a good match for what it was.
I don't remember anything about it. I I do remember it not adding any excitement to either party's elimination chamber match. Um, I think the most exciting part was that the Street Profits did the old Scott Norton Buff Bagwell finisher, where Scott Norton would put him on his shoulders and Buff Bagwell would do the blockbuster.
Yeah, the assisted blockbuster.
Yeah, so that made my PP twitch a little bit, but um, I don't get what Priest is supposed to be. I can't remember if we've talked about this or not, but
He's the he's the punishment, I guess, of the
okay.
Judgment Day. The Punisher.
But is he is he goth? Is he a
No,
vampire? Like, where's the
he's
purple?
Rock.
He's rock.
hmm It looks like Ozzy Osbourne type.
So he's a musician or rocker or of that ilk.
I mean, his
Like I don't
his
understand.
move,
I don't understand what his fucking gimmick is. Oh no.
his move is like South of Heaven or something like that. Like I don't know, it's a big rock song.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, I guess, I guess he's not really like a over the top One Direction gimmick. He's just him.
All right. I just don't get the purple and the little beads in the hair. But then he wrestles like Diesel.
Yeah, he doesn't really have his gimmick down, but that's okay.
And the whole
He doesn't
Judgment
need
Day is
to.
just like a whole bunch of misfits put together. Like they all don't really fit.
It seems like they're just being themselves. Dominic is becoming quite the comedy character with his prison gimmick.
I guess that depends on your definition of comedy.
Well, did you see the the Valentine's Day thing? I guess we can talk about that now. Get it out of the way.
I did not. They mentioned it. I don't recall.
So yeah, this was on social media. It wasn't on the show because
Oh,
they never put these things on the show. So, as with all their holiday traditions, Dom and Rhea Ripley they show up to a dinner for Valentine's Day. Rey Mysterio and his wife are there. So Dominic's real mom. Um, Ray, of course, in the restaurant is wearing his mask. So again, everywhere Ray goes, he has that mask.
what?
And uh-huh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, Dom and Rhea they show up and they're like, "Oh, I got a reservation." Um, and they're like, "Oh, your reservation's already taken." It's like Rey Mysterio, right? And it's like, "What?" And then they look over, and then they go over to Ray and his wife. Um, there's no physicality or anything. They just like, "I can't believe you're gonna ruin my first Valentine's Day with mommy," and that's what I'm saying. And Ray's like, "You know what? You know what? We're not gonna ruin anything. We'll leave." So they leave. Dominic and Rhea Ripley they have their little dinner. When it comes time to the check, Dominique's like, "Oh, just run it on the tab that's open because it was supposed to be Ray's tab." Oh, actually, that you're not an authorized user for that. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I'm gonna give you my credit card. The waiter goes off to get the run the credit card. He comes back. It's declined. At this point, two officers walk in.
That's
They
quick.
and this well, it had nothing to do with the segment, right?
Oh,
They
okay.
just walked in because they're going to have dinner. But Dom sees them and he's like, "Oh, it's a sting. You know I'm the most wanted man on TikTok." And he gets up and runs out,
Oh, Jesus
leaving
Christ.
Rhea Ripley to have to pay the bill.
Yeah, crickets. That sounds lame as
But
fuck.
I mean, there were some other things that was comedy. I'll put in the quotes. Like there was one part where they when they sit at the table after Ray and his wife leave, he's like, he's saying to the waiter, "Get this stuff out of here." And then as he's clearing the table, Dominique's helping, and he's like, "Why am I helping you?" But he said it like it reminded me of like Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights when he's calling what's his name. He's like,
Oh,
"Why
right,
am I
right, right.
talking on the phone with you? I hate you." All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. It reminded me of that.
Well, I guess, I don't know. I'm not going to pay attention to TikTok for a Dominique Mysterio storyline.
This wasn't on TikTok. He just said he was the most wanted man on TikTok.
Oh, well,
This was just all over all their socials.
yeah. I'm not going to follow Dominique Mysterio's socials.
Not his social, WWE's social. Anyway, you're not following it. Just get over
Yeah. You're missing it.
it. All right, so yeah, that's the segment.
Um,
Um,
so, yeah, the Street Profits lost, as they should have. There was a coup de grace to Dawkins. And Edge and Beth Phoenix came out because Priest starts beating up Ford post match. Well, Edge came out. Beth Phoenix just kind of stayed on the sidelines. And then she starts beating up Dominique. And then Ripley comes out. Which kind of pissed me off because they said that, oh, she's touring and shit. Which means they're liars. Can't trust the Judgment Day.
yep.
And again, yeah, I thought that there was zero excitement. That just really did nothing for anybody.
Yeah, it was just a segment
Yeah.
to show Edge is still on the trails of the Judgment Day. But there's that. We then move on to the Brock Lesnar contract signing with Bobby Lashley. Brock Lesnar comes out, he shoots the shit a little bit with the crowd, and then he calls out, or Adam Pearce starts talking about how this is the contract signing for the mega match at the Elimination Chamber. Brock's like, we don't have time for this. Just get Bobby Lashley out here so he can sign the damn contract. Bobby Lashley comes out. Well, first security comes out, and they're standing on each side of the ramp. And then Bobby Lashley comes out with the table. He
About
puts the
10
table at
guys,
the end.
just to give the
Yeah,
visual.
yeah. He puts the table that he's carrying. He puts it at the top of the ramp, and then he sits down and he teases that he's not going to sign the contract. And This pisses Lesnar off. He's like, sign the damn contract, or I'm gonna, I'm gonna come out there, beat your ass, and then sign it for you. Lashley is like, I'd like to see you try. So then we have the mayhem of Brock Lesnar running through the security guards. He tried to throw, he tried to throw one guy into the fans. It looked like, but the guy didn't like get over the fans, so he just like rammed him into the guardrail so hard.
Yeah. Everything he does looks really. It looks
Rough.
like it hurts. It looks like he has no regard for anybody.
Yeah, it was that poor security guard guy. After he fights off all the security guard, Lashley attacks him.
Yeah, he hits him with the back body drop on the concrete, takes his nice little jacket off, and then he spears the shit out of him.
Yeah, now that back body drop, it looked like I don't know if that's what they were going for.
I think it was he was going for a spear because that's all they know how to do apparently. Oh my
Well,
god.
no, I'm saying when he like Lesnar jumped and Bobby like caught him on his shoulder.
Yeah, I think he
I
was
don't know
going
what
for a
they were going
spear,
for. Okay,
but
but then yeah, Lashley hit him with a spear.
so it was more of a back body drop than a spear.
Yeah, and then Lashley spears Lesnar, signs the contract, throws it on his body. Lesnar is seen on the ground laughing, and we have our match set up for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, finally we have something to get excited for. The elimination chamber.
Sure. Moving on from that, we get our recap of what happened between Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. If you know, you know. And then we cut to a segment of Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin, so we didn't get to talk about this last week because we missed the show. But Baron
Yeah,
Corbin,
you found Piper
JBL,
Niven's nude leaks, so we had to
what?
take a week off. I said you found Piper Niven's nude leaks.
Don't play with me like that. Are there some out there?
No, no, I don't know. I don't want to talk about this any further.
Don't play with me like that. You know I'm gonna look at them if they're there. I don't even know why. You know, there. You know, there's some guys that are like into that kind of thing. We probably want her to like sit on their face, suffocate them.
Eat. There's some people that get off on watching them eat. They pay money. Oh, eat this. Eat a Twinkie, whore.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like that?
See, that's why that mukbang is so popular.
Yeah.
It's always like we probably talked about this on the show, but I'm gonna talk about it again. It's always like overweight people who are doing mukbang.
Yeah. I mean, there's a fair amount of thin people, but they're always like Asian.
Oh, well, I haven't gone that deep into.
Oh, I have.
I'm just like watching the 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 recommended stuff, and I don't know why that's recommended. But you watch one, and then YouTube was like, "Oh, you like that, huh?"
Yeah. Well,
I think I got into it because I was looking for like reactions of the fried chicken sandwich from Popeyes, and then it's like mukbang, and I'm eating 12 of these. Yeah. Anyway,
why would you need reactions of a fast food sandwich?
I don't know. I want to see what. I wanted to read the room, see if people like it or not.
But it's Popeyes. It's their. I mean, can't you guess?
Well, when you put it up against Chick-fil-A, no, you can't guess.
Chick-fil-A is overrated.
Oh, there you go. You know, your culture really likes that
They
Chick-fil-A.
boy
That's
do
like
they.
the place for
Jesus
them.
Christ.
Like Chick-fil-A is like the top place. Like, oh, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A.
I don't know about you, but like the Chick-fil-A around here, they have like this big ass line all the time.
Yeah, they have them here too, but it moves quick. Like they have it down to a science where that line
Yeah.
still moves super quick.
I don't get it, man.
They got them people out there on them tablets.
Like it's fine chicken, but it's not the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I do like the chicken minis from Chick-fil-A though.
The little
Like
chicken
the
nuggets.
breakfast.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, the chicken nuggets are fine, but I think they're overpriced for to be
Oh,
chicken
of
nuggets. I
course.
mean, I can go get $1 chicken nuggets from Burger King,
Right.
and you're over here charging me like $7 for chicken nuggets.
Like, and again, they're good, but they're not that good.
Yeah, they ain't $7 good.
And they got you.
Oh well,
They
you
got
know,
that plain sandwich with the fucking just pickle. Why would I? Why would I want a pickle on my goddamn sandwich?
on the
Chicken of
chicken
all
sandwich,
things.
you take the pickle off. I
Oh,
leave the pickle on. The pickle's good.
uh, I'm not the biggest fan of the pickle.
Mm. You put cheese on it.
No,
Cheese on a chicken sandwich.
God no.
And we're not talking about the grilled chicken. We're talking about the fried chicken.
Yeah, why the fuck would you put
Grilled chicken,
cheese?
that's a whole different thing. You gotta put cheese, everything on it.
Eh, yeah, I guess that's acceptable. I'll go with just maybe a little bit of tomato, some mayonnaise.
I don't like tomato.
No, I.
I mean, that's your sandwich. I don't know what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
We're not over here building the perfect sandwich that we both have to 100% like.
I'm not the biggest fan of tomato either, but it's supposed to be good for your prostate.
Oh.
And when the doctor sticks his fingers up there, I want a good clean bill.
There you go. Well, segue out of that to
Segway.
going back to. So yeah, we're backstage. Baron Corbin. He's talking with Kathy Kelly, I believe, is her name.
Yeah. Well, so
And
last week, um,
oh yeah, that's what I remember. Last week, JBL.
Baron Corbin lost to, was it Gargano?
Yes.
So he loses to Johnny Gargano, and then um, later on that week in Raw, there's a backstage segment between him and JBL, and Corbin's like, "Oh, I guess we're just gonna have to regroup next week," and JBL's like, "No, fuck you, we're done." And so he fires him and leaves. So the wrestling god is without his wrestling god.
And boy, did he fire him. He's telling him, you tainted my like being next to you taints my legacy,
You're right.
and you're nothing but a loser. It's like I can change. And JBL's like, you can't polish a turd.
Which is a good line.
Yeah. So there's split spill.
So there's this
So
week they followed it up on a backstage segment, and the lady asked Corbin if he had any response to JBL's harsh comments, and then all of a sudden the camera cuts to the ring, and then she goes, "Oh wait, there's something important happening."
yeah. Yeah, it's the little things. Like, yeah, he starts talking. And she's like, "Wait, something important is
Yeah.
happening."
It's like, oh, it's been a tough week for me. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, I thought that was great. I laughed. Um, so Sammy invaded Raw. Have I missed anything so far?
Nope.
Okay. So Sammy invaded Raw, and he wants to talk to Cody. And Cody comes out, and he does his little entrance and kissing babies and high fiving everybody, and he
I
wants to.
noticed there was no pyro though.
There was pyro.
There was pyro.
Yeah.
I thought I.
There's
Okay.
there's pyro. There's at least that smoke shit.
Yeah, the smoke was there, but there was no pyro.
I'm about 80% certain there was pyro, but I could be wrong.
Oh, maybe maybe I'm wrong. I wrote down that there was no pyro for once.
Okay, fair enough.
It was a surprise to me because you know.
I just know he did his full entrance, so it doesn't matter. Um, Sammy wants to know if Cody actually thinks he can beat Roman Reigns like he said last week. Cody says he did mean it. For some reason, there's a "This is awesome" chant. Um, Cody says the obvious, which that is it doesn't matter what he thinks; it's what Sammy thinks. Sammy says he doesn't know. He says he could be a main eventer, he could be champion, but as far as beating Roman Reigns, he just doesn't know. It says got the God mode thing. That's not just talk. He is his work wrestling at another level and really put over Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he said the bloodline always finds a way.
Yeah.
Remember that line. The bloodline always finds a way.
Okay.
Because remember what I said.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna. Roman Reigns. I guess I'll say it again for the people who didn't know. I said it, and now more and more people are getting on board. Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania as champion, and Sami Zayn told you right there. The bloodline always finds a way.
Okay. So then after that, Cody fluffs his balls. Like, oh, the people think you can do it, and you can do it. Blah 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 blah. Cody says this great line where he says he intends to finish his story, and then you need to finish yours. But then he ruins it by encouraging the crowd to cheer. Just thought that kind of, I thought that kind of killed it. And then Cody says he doesn't want to see him at Raw. He wants to see him at WrestleMania. And then Sammy puts his hoodie back on and flees back into the crowd.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't quite get. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't quite get the whole hoodie thing he's been doing for weeks.
He looks
Like
like Mick Foley.
why is he sneaking out?
Yeah. He I don't know. He looked out of place. He didn't look like he belonged in the same ring. Cody came out with a suit and he looked like he washed his balls within the last 24 hours. Sammy comes out. He looks like he's fucking sleeping in his car. Still got his dried cum on his hands. He looks more and more like Mick Foley to me. And I think
I didn't get the long hair thing. Now he said in an interview a while ago, he said that he grew his hair out, he grew his beard out because he wanted to look less likable. That's why he had the beard and the hair.
He just looks
Okay, well, next. Mhm.
he just looks pathetic.
Well, now you're a baby face. You can cut the hair. I did call it right though about the music coming back. I did get that right.
Yeah. Speaking of music, when so Sammy invades Raw, right? It's a surprise. Like they interrupt an interview to cut to Sammy because to see what he's gonna do, right?
Right.
So then Cody comes out, and I wish he would have just like came out and genuinely been surprised that he was called out as opposed to doing like his full blown entrance. Like that means he either had his music queued up or went to somebody to cue his music up.
Well, you gotta get the full Cody experience.
And then like, oh, make sure you got my pyro, and like all that coordination. Think about it though, like all that coordination for an entrance, and this is supposed to be spontaneous. I just wish
Yeah,
it. I just wish he came out without any music and he like looked genuinely surprised as opposed to coming out encouraging the woes and slapping hands.
it's the little things. Yeah.
Um, I think Cody or not Cody. I think Sammy looked like a total pussy. He invades another show, talks to his rival essentially, his potential WrestleMania opponent, goes all the way over there just to ask him what he thinks. Like, can you think I beat Roman Reigns? And the whole time he's saying that how great Roman is, he looks like he's on the verge of tears. He looks like it's pathetic. And he needs Cody to fucking tell him how great he is. It's just I didn't like it at all. And then he puts
It's
his little
definitely.
stupid hoodie on and runs back into the crowd. Like how I don't understand. I just don't understand why this guy's liked so much.
Why is he liked so much?
Yeah.
Because people, and it's starting to become more and more that apparent that people have missed storytelling. And unfortunately for Sami Zayn, well, no, unfortunately for WWE, they had this idea to put Sami Zayn in the biggest faction going in WWE,
Mm-hmm.
and then he took it to another level and got way over.
Okay.
They didn't think that story was going to get so hot, I guess. Actually, the origin of it was he was supposed to be in the bloodline for a couple weeks and then they were going to kick him out. It got so hot and the whole Usi and all that stuff, it got so
Mm-hmm.
hot they were like, okay, now we can't cut him out of the bloodline. So then they had to keep it going. And then we got the turn. So that's why he got over. He got over because he got over.
But okay, that's
You
great.
know, if Vince McMahon was still around, that wouldn't have happened. He would have, oh, they're starting to cheer him, get him out.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think we're focusing on the wrong part of the story though,
what's that?
because the story isn't between Sammy and Roman Reigns. The story is between Sammy and Jey Uso.
Yeah,
Like all throughout Sammy's time with the Bloodline, he's been trying to get Jey Uso's approval. Jey Uso's been the one that hasn't trusted him. Jey Uso's been the one that's called him out. Jey Uso's been the first one to, like, remember when Roman wanted him to take the shirt off, and Jey Uso was all about that shit. Jey Uso was
yeah,
the
he ripped
last
the
one
shirt
to
off within seconds.
Right. Jey Uso was the last one to accept Sammy. Jey Uso finally said, "I love you, Sammy," and then he's conflicted about between Roman and the Bloodline. Now, EC kind of muddied that a little bit, and I don't know why, but we'll get to that. But that's the story. Roman's just a, a supporting character in Sammy's story.
But unfortunately, Roman's the champion, which makes him the focal point.
It makes him the focal point as far as I guess breaking up the bloodline, which is what Sammy wanted to do. But the story is between Jay and Sammy. It's not between Sammy and Roman.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you really want to talk about it, the story, then you could say the story's between Jay and Roman, going back to like the whole start of the bloodline formation.
It
It
can be.
started
I
with
mean,
Roman.
that would if it. Sammy and Jay need to resolve their story first. They need to finish that. But if it
Well, we're
evolves
getting
back,
there.
huh?
I said, I guess we're getting there.
We'll see. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sammy needs to resolve it with Jay.
Right. I don't know. I lost it. It was really good too. Thanks for interrupting me.
Hey,
It was gold.
I know I ruined the I ruined the clip, but hey, I think we got enough out of it. But yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. So Sammy and Jay can finish their story and that can evolve into Jay and Roman again. I mean, they can retread that. But yeah, just Sammy's involvement with Roman, like the only thing Roman has this whole thing started because Roman can't fucking pick a tag team partner and he got bored with the mascot. If Roman would have picked Sakoa Joe or one of the Usos to go against John Cena and Kevin Owens, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about Roman Reigns versus Sammy.
it wasn't about that. Like that was just a piece of the story. And
No,
even Roman
that's
said
what
it. He
started it.
said,
Because before that, Roman was cheering and they were slapping hands. Sammy just won War Games for him.
right, but even Roman said, I'm not mad because we. First of all, I didn't lose. He lost.
Right.
And second, like, I'm upset because you called your shot and you made me look like a liar.
But he picked the
And now you're trying to
mascot
speak
as
for
a
the
tag team
bloodline.
partner
Now you're
against
trying to
John
take over.
Cena and Kevin Owens. He should have picked Sakoa Joe or one of the Usos. That's Roman's fault.
Mm.
And that's, I mean, for them to have a rivalry over that, I don't know. That's just not as compelling as what he's been through with Jay.
Well, I mean, I think it's more than that. Like, it
Uh,
goes back to it goes back to Sami Zayn. He was getting trying to get accepted into the bloodline.
okay.
You can tell all the time Roman Reigns was playing him, and then he got
But
accepted into the
but
bloodline.
but Jay Uso flat out didn't accept him.
Right, that's why the story is between them. And I'm gonna say it again. I still don't think that the blow off should be a tag team title run for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. If anything, okay, let's do the match. Doesn't need to be for the titles. Like, no titles on the line. Let's just hash this personal thing out at WrestleMania. But it doesn't need to be for the titles. They're not tag team. They're not a tag team. Not even. You can argue that they're not even friends yet, and they're gonna go and beat the greatest tag team in the 21st century.
I don't know, either that or a singles match with Jay.
Well, you can't do it as a. It's gonna be a tag team match,
Of course.
but I would argue that it doesn't need to be for the titles because the storyline is bigger. It's bigger than the tag team titles. So let's just cut that cut cut and dried. It is bigger than the tag team titles. We didn't waste 3 years of story for tag team titles
So why does the Roman one have to involve the titles, but the Jay one, the more personal one, not?
because Roman is the champion.
So is Jay.
The tag team titles are not on the same level.
Not with that kind of attitude, they're not.
Oh, what if
You
what if
don't think you don't
Shawn
think
Michaels
putting
was
you don't think putting a title on one of your hottest stars kind of elevates it?
no? Because what are you gonna do after that? You're gonna go you're gonna go wrestle the Banger Bros. What story is gonna be there? What are you gonna go wrestle Hit Row?
That's what he
Huh?
would do if he won the fucking Unite or the Universal whatever the belts.
No, you
Yeah,
go.
that's who he would wrestle. He'd be champion. Everybody would celebrate, and then he would go through the gauntlet of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and the same fucking people. So don't sit there and tell me they have like this deep bench of people that they can cycle through. If they're a tag team champion, they can at least build the belts back up.
He doesn't have a deep Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. You said those two, but I got more for you.
Okay.
Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, because he needs a title shot. Um, throw him in there.
LA Knight's probably not gonna be on TV ever again.
What are you talking about? He was just on TV last week.
Oh, was he? Was he?
Yeah, or was it this week? Maybe it was this week.
Oh.
No, it was. I don't know. He did a backstage segment. It was really quick. They said, "Oh, we haven't seen you since you lost to Bray Wyatt." And he's like, we ain't talking about that. We're moving forward."
Yeah, fair enough. I move
So
forward too. I don't want you to ever bring up that shit again. The fact that the fact that Vince hasn't released that motherfucker a second time, he should pull his veto powers. Like, I'm the biggest shareholder. You get that useless fucking tub of lard out of here.
calling LA Knight a type of lard?
No, I'm calling Bray Wyatt a tub of lard.
Oh, oh, okay.
After that pitch black monstrosity.
And now, you remember you said, "Oh, now they're gonna have a he's gonna be in a cinnamon toast crunch gimmick match."
Yep.
Oh, you didn't see? Did you see SmackDown?
I saw his clip where he said the winner of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley better run, which that made me sad because I knew Brock Lesnar was going to lose.
Well, it would have made more sense for anyway. We'll talk about that later.
How you doing,
This
chat?
is it's gonna tie into it later.
We're just talking about last Monday's Raw, getting back into or moving into the Elimination Chamber. Feel free to join in if you want.
Yeah, we're talking about Monday Night Raw, as Kevin Patrick's weird voice would say. So yeah, post Sammy segment, we go to Baron Corbin. still standing backstage. He talks about he's tired of being overlooked. He says, "I hate to break the news to everyone, but Sammy's not beating Roman Reigns." And then he starts talking about Cody Rhodes. He says that um, Cody Rhodes' dad is a joke and his dog is a joke
And all the while,
all the time.
at some
Mhm.
point, Cody comes or appears in backstage, and he's just kind of standing there.
Well, yeah. So Cody. He was backstage because he had just came from the ring, doing the thing with Sammy.
Right.
So he's walking backstage. As he walks through the curtain, um, he starts to hear he hears Corbin talking about how Cody Rhodes is overrated and his dad's a joke, and then as he starts saying and his
He
dog
said,
is a joke.
he said, oh, did he say his dog? I thought he hit him with the after his dad. I heard his
Well,
brother. Cody's a
yeah, his
joke. His
brother too.
brother's a joke, and his dad is a joke.
Yeah, and then he was gonna say his dog.
Oh, okay,
He said his dog, and then at that point Cody
gotcha.
was already on him. Like you can't bring Pharaoh into this
I
or
wasn't paying
whatever his
attention to
name was.
Corbin. I was paying attention to Cody.
Yeah, so they brawl backstage, which then gets out to the ring, and we have a match between Baron Corbin and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is wrestling. He's not in his gear. He's in his uh, finely tailored suit that he takes the jacket and shirt off of. So he's just in the pants and loafers. It was a quick match, probably about I don't know 1 or 2 minutes. We got a we got a Cody cutter and a Crossroads. That's pretty much the match.
Yeah, but I thought it was the greatest part of Raw this week because I don't know. It's just very old school. Just guy talking shit backstage, and other guy overhears it, and they just match starts in street clothes. Kind of reminds me of old WCW.
Yeah,
Seems like something
it was
Bischoff would put up.
it's definitely good that they didn't have to like, oh, you're gonna go get changed and then we'll come back and and do the match. Like they went straight to the match in the street clothes.
And I noticed
But
that Cody didn't have to do his finisher 100 times
yeah, he just did it once.
because it is Corbin.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're doing with Corbin. I mean, now I did call the remember first night with the JBL pairing. I said this is definitely. I'm concerned that this isn't going to work. They wasted this great promo from JBL,
A
but
couple of great
who's he?
promos from JBL.
Yeah, but who's he putting over? Baron Corbin. That like
Right.
that's not going to work.
It's kind
They're
of
just
sad because
wasting it.
did you ever watch him in NXT?
Yeah,
Aside from his little strangly homeless guy haircut, he wasn't that bad. And then he got to the main roster, as they all do.
yeah, and yeah. I don't know if they're going to go back to like a lone wolf, say like what he was in NXT. I for one would like a bum ass Corbin to come back. I think they didn't do that long enough.
They need
Where
to
he
bring
was,
back the end of days Corbin, where he's just wrecking people. He
yeah,
needs.
that's the lone wolf. I
Oh,
think that's lone wolf. You talking about his NXT run?
yeah, where he had
Yeah, that's lone wolf.
the awkward body and the meth head haircut, but he had that undefeated streak.
Yeah, yeah, that was the NXT version.
Yeah, He just needs to go away for a while. He needs to. I don't know. If he can't grow hair, maybe get some flame tattoos or something. He needs to put something on his head. He looks like a cock.
Yeah, needs a rehaul with him.
Yeah. So he just grow something on his head. Anything. Find better gear. And then yeah, just take it a little bit more seriously with him.
That or you go back to bum ass Corbin.
I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
There was a brief stint where he was on SmackDown. He was down on his luck because he was on a losing streak, and he lost all his money, and his wife and kids left him, and he just became this. I mean, he was still losing matches, but he just became like he started to kind of get over, or it was I don't know relatable because he was like so down on his luck.
No, I like my I like mine
He
better.
would. I'm just saying he was connecting with the crowd. Like he would be asking people for money.
But he's losing matches.
Well, yeah, he was a jobber. I mean, honestly, I don't see like you know multiple title runs out of Baron Corbin.
Well, that's why he's got to go away
Either
for a
way,
while.
either way, I
No, no,
don't see
no, no,
multiple
no.
title runs out of
If
him.
he goes away for about 6 months or so, you forget about him. Like I forgot about Riddle.
Who has a grill now, by the way?
Yeah, I saw
You should know that.
that. I saw that. God damn it!
so so dating prawn stars do.
I hate him so much. Well,
That's that prawn star life. You get a grill.
the messed up thing is when they said grill, I obviously assumed it was like a hot dog grill, because you know. And then I saw it, and I shook my head in disgust. I don't get it.
I don't either. I mean, I get it, but I didn't even know that. Honestly, I didn't know that was still like a thing. Girls. I didn't know that was still a thing.
Well, it is among the rap community.
I didn't even know it was in the rap community still. I thought they'd moved on.
Well, Lil Wayne still has his. There's a guy named Kodak
Lil
Black.
Wayne is not relevant.
He's relevant. Wheezy's
Well, I'm
always
saying,
relevant.
okay, wait. I'm saying modern day, he's not relevant. When's the last time he even had like a hit?
I don't know. My Spotify said he was doing something.
Oh, he put out a new album. I gotta go listen to that.
I don't think he put out a new album.
Oh,
I was listening to No Ceilings. That's pretty good.
is that a song or a person
It's an album.
of Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can't tell these days. Oh, is that a person or a song? Like what's that what's that thing's name? Uh I don't know. We'll go on. It's 6ix9ine or something.
Takashi 69.
Yeah. It's like is that a song or a person? And then you see a picture of him it's like okay.
Well, I was
And
disappointed that he wasn't actually 6'9". I thought that
no,
was
he's very short.
yeah. I thought that was kind of false advertising.
Maybe he makes good music though. I don't
No,
listen to.
he doesn't.
I don't listen to. I could I could tell you by the look of him that I wasn't gonna listen to his stuff.
I
Not that I don't listen to rap, but I'm just saying I knew his stuff wasn't gonna be something that I would listen to.
well, I kind of sort of I was kind of sort of listening to the Breakfast Club and Joe Budden's podcast. Kind of sort of around the time he was getting pinched for snitching.
Boy, you were in the trenches there,
Yeah.
listening to that podcast. How out of place were you feeling there?
Uh, you know, it's very it's very interesting how tribal rap music is. They always talk
Yeah,
about
you sure you don't want to go listen to like I don't know, country music artist
the
podcast?
the Dwight Yoakam happy hour.
Yeah.
No, I can hang.
Well, there you go.
But anyway, if Corbin were to just go away for 6 months, we forget about him. He revamps his look so he doesn't look like a penis. Then he comes back and has like a nice little, run, win streak wise. I think it'd work. Maybe not make him the champion, but you could at least put him in. He could be an opponent for whoever's champion.
Yeah, time will tell.
Yeah, or just keep
Um,
booking him like he's a joke.
yeah. So we then move on to a women's tag match. It's a triple threat, or no, sorry, six woman tag match. Pretty much everybody from the Elimination Chamber. It was Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah.
Um, I don't, I don't really know what to tell you about this.
I watched
It was
Asuka's
all over the
entrance.
place. Yeah, it was all over the place. Yeah, and I don't even remember who won. I think Asuka won. She got
Okay.
the pin. Uh, yeah, it was definitely a chaos type match,
All
as
right.
in there was so much going on.
Yeah. I don't like the multi. They keep overdoing the tag matches, and then when they do the tag matches, it's whoever's not in the ring or the legal people. They're like out of the ring entirely. They're not standing on the apron. It's really noticeable.
Oh, you should see. You should. Well, you can't see, but over in AEW, my goodness, they do these tag matches, 6-man tags. There's no tags. It's just pretty much a spot fest.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And the crowd's over there. Oh, this is awesome.
Mm.
It's like, if this is what is awesome, then like you know, I know times may have changed where you don't just want to see like a slow paced match, psychology, selling.
Right.
Who has time to sell moves when you can just flip flop all over the place?
Well, that's
But
how I felt when they were saying this is awesome with that Cody promo with Sammy.
like, why are you chanting?
Yeah, why is this awesome? Explain to me why this is awesome. Don't fucking just chant it.
Yeah, it's
I,
because the crowd didn't know.
yeah, I thought Sammy. If I was rooting for Sammy, and obviously I'm not, but if I was rooting for Sammy, I would not be any rooting for Sammy anymore because he just looks like a vagina. He looks weak. He looks incompetent. He doesn't look sure of himself. Next to Cody, who not only does he believe he's going to beat Roman Reigns, he believes the person that he could potentially wrestle or face at WrestleMania can beat Roman Reigns. He's got enough confidence for both of them.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be humbled, so here
We'll see.
you go. We're gonna, we are gonna take care of that.
We'll see.
we we then move on to a Miz TV.
And who cares?
The Miz,
Okay, I guess you do.
I don't care, but
Yeah.
gotta give the people the information. So the Miz, he comes out, he introduces his guest Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is wearing the boots that has taken over social media for some reason, otherwise known as the Astro boots. No, the Astro Boy boots.
Well, I thought they were pop. I thought they were Papa Smurf.
No, they're Astro Boy.
Oh,
Um, or some people call them Mario boots.
okay. I mean,
And
to be fair, they were kind of neat looking,
well, they're a big thing on the internet.
but they
Not just
were.
from Seth Rollins wore them, but before he wore them, they had become this big thing.
Oh,
Like all
really?
these other, yeah, all these people were wearing them, and it became like a did I pull them off or did I not type
Oh,
thing.
that.
So,
Oh, that's okay.
people in fashion or
Ugh.
couple rappers wore them, some models wore them, an NBA player wore them.
I hate Seth Rollins even more now. I will say they looked a lot really out of place while he was wearing Becky's shirt with him.
Well, there you go. Uh, and apparently, according to the fashion people, he did pull the boots off.
Oh well, that's good.
Um,
I would have
yeah.
lost sleep if I didn't find that out.
But yeah, he comes out. He says he's gonna win the United States title. Miz asks him, can he really focus on the title when when he's got this whole thing with Logan Paul? Why don't you mention Logan Paul? Then Seth Rollins went into this thing about Logan Paul doesn't care about the business, yada yada yada. And then it leads to I forgot how we got there, but it eventually leads to the Miz getting stomped by Seth Rollins in those big red boots.
Well, they
Oh
brawled.
yeah, yeah. Austin Theory came out
Didn't
and
they
they
have a
brawled.
match?
Who?
Rollins and the Miz, or did they just brawl?
No, Austin Theory came out, attacked Seth Rollins, and then Seth Rollins then attacked the Miz,
Okay, I thought
and
that was
then
before.
or maybe he attacked the Miz. I don't know.
He attacked
I'm
the
getting
Miz. Then Austin Theory came out and did his little A Town down because he curb stomped the Miz, or he
yeah.
stopped the Miz, or he stopped him from curb stomping him, or something.
No, he definitely started curb stomped the Miz
Okay,
because he did it, in those big ass boots.
okay.
Now, moving on from all that, we're still in the ring. We go to commercial. We come back from commercial. The Miz is still in the ring. He has a match with Rick Boogs. Match lasted a couple seconds because, the Miz was still getting over the attack from Seth Rollins.
Of course.
So, yeah, it was a couple seconds match. Rick Boogs wins. And we've gotten a couple weeks of Rick Boogs. Boy, is he entertaining, isn't he? I know you probably don't like him.
You're asking me? I don't think I've seen him yet.
Oh.
He wasn't on my version of Raw. My hour and a half condensed version of Raw.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he's had two matches with the Miz, and they've been like a couple seconds. But it finally happened. What did what did I say a couple weeks ago?
He had,
Elias,
yeah.
Elias, and he came face to face. Elias said, "I saw your match a couple weeks ago. You really impressed me. Hey, if you keep it up, maybe we can
Jam
play a
together.
duet.
Oh,
Yeah, something like that." And Boogs is like acting really excited about it. So he does this thing where he has like a flex bar that he flexes with
uh huh.
in the backstage segment. So when he gets excited, he starts doing it really fast, and then he says, "I'm boogsing out."
There's nothing about what you just said that makes me want to see this motherfucker.
Well, what I'm telling you is he has more charisma in his pinky than Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, anybody, any of the regulars on TV, Mustafa.
When
This guy's
Dolph
got
Ziggler,
charisma.
when Dolph Ziggler was when he had the big gold belt when he was heavyweight champion, I don't know. I thought he was really good. They dropped the ball with him.
Was that was that when he cashed in the Money in the Bank?
I believe so. It was when I believe it was when he was with Vicky.
Okay, yeah, that was probably his best run.
Yeah, he was really good. And then unfortunately he was diminished. So yeah, now he doesn't have any charisma. He's just a guy that sells really good and has annoying
Just comes out
backstage
there with
segments.
his jaw,
Right.
with his big ass jaw. That's so unnecessary, but I said it in a top three. um, and then we can move on to our main event of the night. It was the triple threat match, as aforementioned. Bailey, Becky, and Belair, Bianca Belair. They're all B's, so that was hard to keep up with.
Hmm.
That was a triple threat match. They got about, I don't know, 20 minutes. Bianca Belair won. So Becky and Bailey are still without a WrestleMania moment.
Oh,
Um,
I would be so heartbroken if they don't make it to WrestleMania.
I know. You will be, because you won't have your skip button.
I'll have to hold my pisses in.
Yeah. By the way, if you are here in the chat, we got some merch coming on down the line. So if you guys want to do the support thing, we're gonna have merch.
We
We're
do?
gonna have a skip button
Oh,
for sure. I thought of that without telling you, but now I'm telling you on the air.
gotcha.
Getting your live reaction. I said, every show you say something about skipping a segment, so we
Yep,
gotta have we gotta have some merch with skipping on it.
that's cool. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
we'll work the details out on that, but
All right.
it's coming down the pike, people.
I,
If
I,
you're still here,
I think we should
and if you
probably.
are, hit that like button.
I think we should probably actually gain a loyal audience
No, no, no.
because I think it costs money to create the shirts for us. It's not free. It's not like some people go, oh yeah, you can have these shirts that you just make.
No, you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I know. Done my research on it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. All
Talk
right.
about it later. I can run down SmackDown.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So SmackDown, we open up with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They go against Natalya and Shotzi. This goes back to last week when Shotzi and Ronda Rousey, I'm sorry, Ronda Rousey and Shayna attacked Natalya, and also Shayna injured Natalya. Now we're in Canada. It's it's worth it to be known that we're in Montreal, so you know the crowd there is a ravenous crowd.
They were fucking annoying.
Well, Shayna Shayna Baszler starts the match, and they work their couple minutes, and then Ronda Rousey tags in, and then you got 17,000 people or however many there in unison chanting, "You can't wrestle." Worth it. So yeah, they
I'm
were
sad I
chanting.
missed that, actually.
Yeah, they were chanting, "You can't wrestle" to Ronda Rousey,
All right. Bet she loved that.
and yeah, I mean, that might be enough. She might not come back.
she she probably cut herself some more that night.
Yeah, she didn't take kindly to fans talking bad about her, so you got 17,000 people chanting that at you. It ain't gonna be good.
Just locked herself in the bathroom crying, playing Sarah McLaughlin.
Yeah. The other thing to note in this match was, if you remember when Shotzi got her,
I
what was
don't.
that? Extreme Rules. Shotzi and
Oh,
Ronda got her match, and
yeah.
then they did that. They tried a DDT spot on the apron
Uh huh.
that was horribly botched. They actually pulled it off right this time,
No, they didn't.
so that was something to note. Aside from that, Ronda and Shayna won the match as they should have. They beat Shotzi, not Natalia. We then go over a Sami Zayn segment. They replayed. They did this in parts. So they played part one of the Sami Zayn in the Bloodline. You already know the story, so we don't need to do much there. We then go on to Hit Row. They're in the ring. They start doing a concert, a rap concert. Nothing to really go over there. But as they're doing their concert, the lights go out. Enter Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is on one side of the ring wearing a mask. Uncle Howdy is on the other side of the ring. Definitely looks like Bo Dallas. Um, it even looked like it was a different person. But yeah, Bray Wyatt is on one side. Uncle Howdy's on the other side. They get in the ring. They attack Hit Row. Bray Wyatt hits Shanti the Adonis with a Sister Abigail. He puts the mandible claw. No, I'm sorry. He hits. I know, but I have to get it right. He hits uh, Top Dollar with the Sister Abigail. Golly, I'm struggling
He
here.
hits him with a mandible claw.
Well, he hits Shanti the Adonis with the mandible claw,
Well, he
throws
does.
him
He
over to Uncle Howdy, who then Sister Abigail's him.
Yeah, there you go. Because he mandible clawed the Hit Row guy out of the ring, I think.
Oh, maybe he did. Michael Cole. Yeah, you're right. Michael Cole. He made another funny. He said, "Oh, this time he made it over the top rope."
Oh, he loves that top rope reference. He hasn't. He's been brutal on that. He has not let that go. It's been what, months?
Yeah,
He talks about it more than we do.
yeah. I mean, it even goes back to last week. They had that tag team match. It was pretty much a squash match. Top Dollar never got in the ring, or he never got tagged in, and they stated that Wade Barrett's like, "Oh, this would have been a very different match if Top Dollar got tagged in." And Michael Cole said, "Yeah, would have been over faster." So yeah, he's not taking his time, not missing any chances to talk about Top Dollar. So yeah, after they're disposed of, Bray's still in the ring after we come back from commercial. He says the winner of Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, you should run.
Which he just spoiled the
So,
match for everybody.
well, he did, but I thought it was going to go the other way.
I didn't.
You thought it was going to be Bobby Lashley the whole time?
I knew it was going to be Bobby Lashley the whole time.
Well, I was thinking, what sense does it make? Well, really, it makes no sense either way because he doesn't
No,
have a
it doesn't.
story with either one of them.
It make
But he
no.
really didn't have a story with Bobby Lashley.
I just know there's no fucking way that Brock Lesnar is gonna wrestle with Bray Wyatt. He's not gonna do that fucking horse shit. Bobby Lashley is more amenable to doing goofy shit. He was an
Well,
Impact.
I was I was immediately thinking, oh, you're gonna. I was thinking you're gonna love this. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to do this hokey shit that you hate.
Nope.
Brock, Brock Lesnar's gonna be in a cereal match.
No way. Because fortunately, Brock Lesnar has self-respect, and there's no way he's gonna wrestle in cinnamon toast crunch. Bobby Lashley, on the other hand, he'll be all over that.
I don't know if enough zeros on that paper he will.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think
I think he would if the money was right.
maybe, yeah. If there's cereal, though, I don't know.
I mean, we don't even. It's not even etched in stone yet. That's just a rumor that there's gonna be a cereal match.
True. But
Um,
if there
and
will
then
be, it'll be Bray Wyatt's.
I was also thinking, where are the dirt sheets on that one? That he's like, why didn't any of the dirt sheets talk about this match? Either way, like we didn't hear anything about Bray Wyatt versus Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley. Where were you on that one, dirt sheets?
Because nobody wants to see it. Do you want to see
um,
or do you want to see Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley?
no,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why. Because there's no story. Like they have no like. There's no history. There's nothing. There's no story at all.
Well, and they're
And
both
I
gonna
don't
do.
think you can build a story in 6 weeks that is captivating enough to put it at WrestleMania.
We'll see. Oh no, you got
I
six
mean, if
weeks
you,
to fucking build this little pitch black match.
well, I was okay with the pitch black match. So
No, you eventually became okay with the pitch black match, but because you probably saw some opinions on the internet and you're like, oh yeah, okay.
no, I thought about it and I said, I said, what was bad about the match, or what,
Everything.
what did what needed to happen in the match, and it all happened. So that's why I was okay with it.
So LA
Anyway,
Knight needed to be destroyed and buried and made a fool of.
he was he's not buried.
Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt had to have his little ink lights and his stupid little other mask. He had to debut a new mask. This is his third fucking mask since he's been back.
Well, I'm sure he didn't envision
Bray Wyatt had
it's
to
being the pitch black match.
he had to feature his puppets after Uncle Howdy missed his splash or his elbow drop horribly. We needed to
Yeah.
have the little paintballs splashed all over the place. We needed that. We needed the cum searching lights. We needed that.
That's not all it's for.
We needed him no selling kendo sticks that happen to have dildos the fluorescent dildos taped to him.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a monster. He's a
He's not a
monster.
monster. He's a man.
He's a monster.
He's not a monster.
Well, the Fiend is a monster. Anyway,
He's not the Fiend. Or the Fiend's dead.
he is. We saw him die
He
and be
said,
brought back to life.
and he even said it himself. My name's Bray Wyatt. So he is a man. Everything about that was awful.
Well,
And they were
like LA Knight said, we ain't talking about that. We're moving forward.
all right. Anyway, I just knew that there's no fucking way that Brock Lesnar is going to do a fucking match with Bray Wyatt. And now it'll be interesting to see who out no sells the other one.
um, yeah. After that segment, Madcap Moss was doing a backstage segment with Emma. He lies to everybody and says that he's going to be the next Intercontinental Champion because he is a superstar. Everybody knew he
he
was
lied.
lying.
He lied twice.
Yeah. After that, we go to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre versus the Viking Raiders with Valhalla.
Viking Raiders
Some
lost.
people saying this was the best match of the evening. I didn't really pay attention to it because how many times have we seen it? Vikings Raiders lost. Why they lost, no one knows. Because
They
it
lost
definitely,
again.
yeah, they're supposed to be being built up, and they're over here losing to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, which is more of a team than Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, by the way. And they're not even a team.
Okay, first of all, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they've known each other for years. They've had they've teamed all throughout their career. So, and they've been playing that in WWE in storyline. So to say that they're not a tag team, that they could tag team today, and that it would be like riding a bicycle for them. So
And that's
stop
gonna
it.
make them the best. That's gonna make them the best tag team.
They could be.
You're beating the longest reigning tag team champions.
They've known each other for well, I don't know if quite as long as Jay and Jimmy, but they've been tagging for quite a
They're
while.
birth. They're twins.
That's what I
Like
just
there's not
said.
possible.
That's what I just said.
It's not. It's
Okay.
physically not possible for them to know each other longer than
Okay.
that.
Get it out.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's what I just said. They could tag to today and they'd be fine. So yes. In fact, they would probably be more equipped to be tag champion than anybody right now. If Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn formed a tag team right now, they would be automatically be number one contenders.
Okay. I guess I'm in the minority here.
Not everybody
But
can be world champion. And Sami Zayn is not a world champion. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck how over he is with the crowd. Damian Sandow was over with the crowd too. Do you see him being world champion?
did I see
Santino.
him being world champion? Yes, at one point at his peak,
Oh, you're
I could have
fucking
saw that.
crazy.
We're not saying that you got to be like everybody's. Just because you're champion doesn't mean like, oh, now you're gonna be like the next Hogan.
No, but you gotta
You
be.
just
No,
mankind was
bullshit. No,
champion.
bullshit. You're the top. You're the top guy in the top company with the top prize. You need to fucking be one of those people. Santino Marella, Damian Sandow, Sami Zayn. Those are not top people.
Was mankind a top person? Mankind, not McFoley. Mankind.
Yes.
There's a long pause there.
Well, you said mankind. And I was thinking like Dude Love and but if we're just going like
You telling me Mankind was more of a top guy than a Cactus Jack was?
fuck yeah, yeah, absolutely. Mankind with
Well,
the
maybe at his peak.
pulling yeah when he first debuted, he was in the boiler room and he was one of the first guys that really gave Undertaker a hard time with the mandible claw. He kind of had a little alliance with Goldust when he was still a tranny. It was great. That's when Goldust would. I saw him being a champion. He was great.
Okay.
So yeah, Mankind, absolutely, and he was. But then they did the whole hardcore thing, and then he became the Sacco, and then yeah, that. If we're talking about that Mankind, no,
Well, that is when he won the title, so
I know.
there's that.
Well,
so,
he won the
so you
title.
just
He won the title before that, but then he did the Sacco thing with The Rock.
well, he wasn't the boiler room Mankind when he won the title.
No, but he wasn't the Sacco Mankind either.
He was in between.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have the sock out yet, but it was
Okay.
getting there.
Okay. So my official statement is Boiler Room Mankind. Yes. Just I'm sorry, Sami Zayn's not. He's not world champion material, and he showed it. He
He
absolutely
did
fucking
show
showed
it.
it on Raw. Like
Yep.
why would you go to a rival? Think about it. Think about it. You got this girl, right? You really want to get with her. And then you go to her ex-boyfriend and say, "You really think I could fuck her one day? Think I have a chance?"
Why would you go to the X?
Why would you go through Cody Rhodes to see if you could beat Roman Reigns?
I don't know. He was looking for approval.
Oh, there you go.
Really, what they really what they were trying to do was tell you, please cheer Cody Rhodes,
They were already cheering Cody
and
Rhodes.
he's. Well, I'm just saying, please don't turn on Cody Rhodes. That's really what that segment was about.
No, they're trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do. It just Sami Zayn looked like the little brother. Wasn't he? Wasn't even making eye contact. He just yeah, he just looked pathetic. But anyway, just because
Speaking of
the
Sami Zayn, go ahead.
I was gonna say just because the crowd likes him and he's over that does not necessarily mean that he needs to be a world champion.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're selling merch, you got the highest rated segments. Who cares about all that stuff?
You don't need to be a world champion. No,
Speaking of Sami Zayn, we move on to part two
that's it.
of
All right.
the Sami Zayn story. Part two, and yeah, that was pretty much it with part two. And then, uh, I mean, we've all seen the storyline build out. So,
All right.
um, then we go then to a backstage segment. Rey Mysterio is talking about his little segment. I don't know if you saw it. He did a segment with Santos Escobar last week after the triple. I'm sorry, after their fatal four-way match. They did a segment where they exchanged masks. So they were asking Rey Mysterio about that now on camera,
Is Escobar a
and
good guy now?
well, he is now. He wasn't, but after that,
Okay.
he pretty much that pretty much turned him face.
I really would. I would not mind seeing an Escobar Rey Mysterio match.
Yeah, that'd be a good match. Um, but yeah, as Ray's talking about that and how much of an honor it was, Karrion Cross comes out. This is all backstage. Karrion Cross comes out. He says that there was a time where he thought he wanted to have kids, but after seeing how much of an after seeing how much of an embarrassment Rey Mysterio is as a father, he no longer wants kids. And then he says, "But that's just what Scarlett thinks." And then he says TikTok. So, and
Oh, good. We get more Rey Mysterio and Karrion Cross. This
yeah,
is the feud
they
of
they
the
set up
century.
a they set up another match for
God.
next week, so it's already set in stone. It's a good segue to talk about Karrion Cross because, as we talked about, I don't did we get to talk about it? Triple H um, pretty much has put the kibosh on the Karrion Cross push.
He was
Did we
kind of
talk
under
about
fire.
that?
Well, we speculated because of his short appearance and the Rumble. We were like, are they cool on him? And then there was a story that Triple H was kind of under fire because Karrion Cross just came back, and it seems like they've soured on him already. He's fucking feuding with Rey Mysterio, and he lost to Rey Mysterio. He lasted less than 5 minutes in the Rumble, it seemed. And I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't understand why. How do you lose a match and then still think you can continue the feud? Like you started some shit that you lost. It's not like you won.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
And
why he's
he lost on
Ray.
SmackDown, clean.
Yeah, Ray shouldn't be saying that I'm going to give you another match, but that's where we're going with that. It's already set, so.
Oh,
Um, but there was a report. Well, it wasn't really a report, I should say, because he said it himself. He was on a podcast, the Super Crossover, Su- the Superstar Crossover podcast. You
okay.
never heard of it because they just started a couple weeks ago. They only got like 300 subscribers. How they got Karen Cross, I don't know. But
No, more
that
importantly,
being
how they
said,
get 300 subscribers?
I don't know. But they do. I mean, we're gonna catch them as long as you guys hit that like that subscribe button. We're gonna catch them. And so he's doing an interview with them, and he talks about his WWE run since he's come back. This Karrion Cross, and he says that he is unhappy with his comeback. He then went on to say that um, if you if he's given the proper time to tell the story he wants to tell, he thinks that he'd be in a different position than where he is right now.
What
So
story doesn't want to
he's
tell?
I don't know, but I guess his thing is that he's not giving enough TV time because they only have 2 hours of TV time per week because he's SmackDown only. So there's only 2 hours TV time. His segments are rushed, so he doesn't have time to tell the proper story as he wants to tell it. So
Okay.
he doesn't like his. That's why he thinks he's you know where he's at right now, or
Okay.
that's why he thinks he's underwhelming.
There might be some
Um,
truth to that, but I don't think there's any fucking story he could tell with Rey Mysterio.
yeah, it's definitely there is some truth to it. He hasn't got a lot of time, but I was thinking this myself. I said, you know, this whole Karen Cross thing, he hasn't really gotten to, a big story. But then I thought about it. He got Drew McIntyre when he came in. He
Mm-hmm.
got Rey Mysterio now. He's gotten stories. He just hasn't connected with the crowd for whatever reason. They think he's boring. In the ring.
He is kind of dull.
Well, they just think he's boring altogether. But
I thought I kind of lost. I don't want to say interest, but after that cage match he had with Drew McIntyre and Scarlett cost him the match, I just thought they looked like idiots.
yeah,
Drew McIntyre was trying to crawl out the cage, and Scarlett locks the cage door, and then for some reason Cross tries to go out that very same door, knowing that Scarlett fucking locked it, and then Drew McIntyre climbs out and wins, and they just look like idiots.
well, you got a lot more. You got a lot. You remember that match a lot more than I did. I don't remember the match barely.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's the cross news. Interesting to note there. But more interesting, and again, like how this 300 sub channel was able to land Karrion Cross is beyond me.
Yeah, good for
I was
them.
like, what? That was my thing. What? How could they have done this? But catch us at the end of the year. We'll see who's getting. We'll see.
I don't know if I
That's our.
want
That's a. Hey, everybody's. Make sure we need to beat Super Crossover Wrestling. That's our new rival. Get them.
to.
Let them know
Jesus.
that too. We will beat them. We will beat them in subs and every analytics. That is our new. That's our new rival. Super
Yeah.
Crossover Wrestling. Put write it down.
And
Fuck
to
them.
beat them next week, we'll have Asuka on for an interview. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Asuka said that once we pass them in subs, she'll do an interview with us. So make sure to hit that sub button so we can get Asuka on the channel.
Yeah. Because she has a long history of interviewing with 300 plus sub channels.
Well, they did it.
No, they got Karrion
Like who?
Cross.
I'm saying
Karrion Cross is a
who?
loser. We're talking
The
about
B team.
Asuka. Karrion Cross needs the money.
Oh, you think they paid him? That's how they got him?
I bet they gave him $10.
There you go. There you go. They paid him. It's like a hooker. We're gonna get people that, if we ever get to an interview, we're gonna get people on the show who wants to be on the show. They're gonna be asking us. We're not gonna be asking them.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, let's see. Yeah, Mister. What's your name? Roman Reigns. We'll see if we can squeeze you in. What? Hulk Hogan? Yeah. We'll see if we got time for you.
You're still alive?
You, looks like we can squeeze you in. You got a little 15-minute interview. Is that good? Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
See, I don't know how I feel about interviewing people.
I don't want to interview people.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't want to interview people, but at the same time, I see people with 300 subs getting interviews. It's like, well, whose dick are they sucking to get this pulled off?
Well, one, I don't want to meet my heroes. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to meet Stone Cold and then he turns out to be a cocksucker. And I also don't want it to just, hey, you remember that time? That was awesome.
Oh, just be a fanboy.
Yeah.
And then you say stuff that he doesn't even remember. It's like, oh, I don't remember it either.
You remember that? You remember that time at WrestleMania 13 where your dick root was shown? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing.
Yeah, it was just a guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's Karrion Cross.
Dick root and all.
We then move on to Asuka. She's in a match with Liv Morgan, setting up this whole Elimination Chamber thing. Again, this was like a Madhouse segment, so couldn't tell you what really happened there.
What do you
Asuka
mean?
won though.
Like a Madhouse segment?
Like it was a match, but Raquel Rodriguez was out there at ringside, Nikki Cross was out there at ringside,
Oh.
Carmella was out there, so it was all over the place.
Was were the Bella twins out there?
No,
Okay. Who was sitting on uh who was sitting on laps?
I think Nikki Cross was sitting on Wade Barrett's lap
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
some of the segment.
Okay.
That's what I said. It was a madhouse.
I heard Nikki, and then I saw, I don't know, it looked like a Brie or one of them. So I thought maybe they were there to celebrate the ladies.
I don't know.
Okay.
They wouldn't be there to celebrate the ladies.
You never know.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be coming back anytime soon. Um, we have our main event of the evening.
I'm sorry I missed this.
Oh, well, I wrote down before the main event. We then got a segment or the final part of the Sami Zayn. They said Sami Zayn's gonna come out to address the crowd. That's the main event segment. Sami Zayn addressing the Montreal crowd.
Oh.
Wait until you hear the Wait until you hear the pop. The roof's gonna blow off of this place when Sami Zayn comes out. Like they're really pumping up this Sami Zayn thing.
Yeah. It was
So
very
much so
artificial.
it's like, golly, you would think like you keep showing him on little segments. I mean, when you when you get the highest rated segments of the week of this whole thing, him, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Cody Rhodes are getting the highest rated segment. So I guess the people are telling you what they want to see.
Yeah.
But they were really pumping it up. And then we go to our main event, Gunther versus Madcap Moss. They did note that Gunther is 250 days in as champion. That was at the time of SmackDown, so we're what 251 now, 252 time whenever you listen. What anyway, he surpassed 250 days as champion, making him the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in the 21st century. So that is an awesome accomplishment for him. Where he goes for WrestleMania, um,
Who knows
I
now?
don't know.
Oh, wait. Because, well, now that uh, after the Lesnar Lashley match, I don't know. Brock might not have anything to do during WrestleMania now.
Well, we'll go through that, but word on the street is it's going to be a triple threat match: Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre for the title. But Gunther, I'm sorry, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre have been playing tag team, so how they're going to get from that to them being in a match against each other, no one knows. Which doesn't sound like that's going to be happening. But there you go. So we're going to have that. Gunther, as he should, wins this match.
I saw clips of it. It looked like it was pretty good.
I mean, it was the Gunther match. Of course, it was good,
Yeah. He's the best thing that they
and
got,
and he won as he should
as he should have.
have.
It looks like Madcap's turning heel. Because didn't they have a backstage segment where they blamed the crowd for turning on him? Emma's
I
trying
don't know.
to lure him to the dark side because she said, "Well, if it wasn't for the crowd turning on you, you totally would have won." And Madcap, he's kind of looks confused, but like, just, I'm not one to make excuses, but yeah, I don't know. Seems kind of heelish to me.
Well,
Not that it really
yeah.
matters.
I mean,
He'll still be boring.
well, that'd be interesting for me at least. Interesting. I didn't see that segment at all, but it does make sense in why they were talking about him being a superstar and he's gonna win because he looks. She Emma was saying no one on the roster looks as good as you do, so that's why you're a superstar.
Yeah.
But then we move on to our main event segment, Sami Zayn's return to Montreal. Um, there weren't many words said in this segment, but it was quite powerful. So Sami Zayn, he ruined my thing about him having his theme back at Wrestle or coming out at Backlash. Whoa, him coming to Elimination Chamber with his theme, it was ruined because he did it on SmackDown. So, oh, you know,
I
you
hate
know
that
the thing.
song.
But I did say that was coming back. So his theme hits. He goes to the ring for about 10 minutes. The crowd is chanting. They're going through the whole gambit of chants. You deserve it. Um, let's go, Sammy. All the chants. Sammy's just soaking this all in. He started to tear up a little bit because it was so overwhelming. Then he pretty much says that Roman Reigns is not just going against Sami Zayn, but he's going against the whole prov- province or whatever it is of Montreal. What is it? City? Is it a city? Do they have cities there?
I don't know.
Well, whatever Montreal
Just say
is,
colony.
he's he said Roman Reigns has to go against all of it. So not just Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how we go off the air there.
He was crying again. So all week,
It was
Sammy's been
emotional.
crying. Our hero has been crying like a bitch.
It was emotional.
Can you imagine? Can you
You know,
imagine if John McClane was crying like a bitch while I was pulling the glass out of his feet? I just can't. I can't do it.
what are you talking about? I've seen UFC fighters. They spend 20 minutes getting pounded in the face, and then, they go out and after they win, they're crying.
That's after.
Like they're so emotional because they
That's tears.
won, they poured their
That's
heart
tears
out,
of
or
joy
they.
after. You don't see the UFC fighter going to the other UFC fighter. Do you think I could beat the other? Do you think I could be champion of this weight class? I need your affirmation and approval, 'cause I look up to you. Do you see UFC fighters go to their hometown? It's not just me against Daniel Cormier. It's me and Boise, Idaho against Daniel Cormier.
Well,
Yeah, just saying.
you're really hung up on that
A little bit, yeah.
that Raw segment, aren't you?
Raw and SmackDown, apparently. You said he was crying in SmackDown.
Oh yeah,
There
but
you
he was
go.
legit crying.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
what I'm saying.
emotional.
How is it emotional? It's emotional if he
Uh,
comes back as the conquering hero.
it's emotional because he's not supposed to be in this spot, as people like you say.
Because
Like, he's not supposed to be in the main event. He's not supposed to be getting the cheers.
no, 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 no. I didn't say anything about him being in the main event. I just say he couldn't be champion. And there's nothing wrong
Well,
with him getting cheers. Of course he would get cheers. I would
well,
hope he'd get cheers
getting
or
those kind
boos
of cheers.
or reaction. You can get those kind of cheers.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
you get.
Damien Mizdow, he got those kind of cheers. Well, maybe not quite. Not
Yeah, I mean,
not
no one
not
got.
not quite the Montreal cheers, but he was pretty over. I don't think you remember how over he was.
I said earlier, at his peak, I thought he could have been champion,
He couldn't have been.
especially when he had
That's
Money in the Bank.
a fucking joke. And
He had Money in the Bank.
No, Santino Morella, he was pretty fucking over too. Everybody loved him.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
And no one's arguing with you on Santino Morella. As a
It's the
matter of
same.
fact, I hated when he beat Umaga. I
Oh,
hated
he
when he
did beat
did the
Umaga,
snake.
didn't he?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Remember
I
when he
hated
was
when
in
he did the
the?
snake. I hated when he did the trumpet thing.
Yeah, I hate everything
I
about
hated everything. Thank
him.
you. There was not one good redeeming moment from him.
But I'm just saying he was super over too though. My point is just because people like him, just because they're entertaining, does not mean that they need to be the champion of everything. They don't need to be in the top guy spot. You got to have some sort of believability with that.
And I'm saying sometimes a story becomes so big and takes on a life of its own that you have no choice but to pull the trigger and send the fans home happy.
But the story is not him and Roman. The story is him and Jay.
So they're going to beat Jay, and then that's going to be. That doesn't even end the bloodline story. Let's go back there. Because I just thought about that.
It can
Okay, they
be
go and beat the
if
Usos.
if the
The
Usos lose,
bloodline, there's.
if the Usos lose the tag team champions, the Usos could either split or they could realize that Roman's leadership has cost them the championship, and they can split from Roman, and then they could feud with Roman individually or together. There's a whole bunch of, I mean, if you really take your time with it, there's a whole bunch of angles you could go with it.
And did you? I mean, well, did you hear what Paul Heyman said when he was talking on SmackDown last week?
I did, but that was last week. I mean, I smoke
Yeah,
weed
it was a
too.
long time ago. So he said, well, because him and Cody had that segment that everybody was, uh,
Crying and
everybody was like, oh, see, you're all, everybody who said they wanted Sammy, this segment, that's what the internet was saying.
mm,
Oh, this segment just proved why Cody Rhodes is the right decision. I guess we were watching two different things, but that's here nor there.
ooh, that was a
And
great segment. What the fuck are you talking about?
it was a good segment. It was a great segment, yeah.
So then,
But
what
that
are you
didn't
talking
get me
about?
more
Watching two?
excited for. That didn't get me more excited for Roman versus Cody. If anything, it got me excited for Dusty versus Cody. And we know that. I'm sorry, Dusty versus Roman. And we know that can. Yeah, and unfortunately, we can't have that match. So
No, I just like I like how they started off with the emotional thing, And then Paul Heyman said that you were Dusty's favorite son, but Roman was the son that your father always wanted. And then Cody's like, I'm just trying to win a championship. Everybody wants to make this personal. Well, now it's personal, and I'm not going to take it out on you. I'm going to take it out on your boy Roman. I thought that was great. That got me really excited. It was almost like kind of like you were saying, like he was just put in a spot and he's just going through the motions, and this is just part of the wheel that's just going to be turning anyway. But now because of Paul Heyman's interjection and pulling the heartstrings, and of course going after Dusty and playing that angle, now it's personal. Now Cody is emotionally invested. Now he doesn't he doesn't just have to win the title. He has to beat Roman Reigns now.
Mm, I don't know about all that.
What? What don't you know about?
I don't know if we've made that connection yet. Like, yeah, he said that, but Cody, yeah, at the end of that segment, Cody said, I'm trying to win a championship, and everybody's trying to make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the bridge there is what Paul Heyman said on SmackDown, and he said, "I didn't know Dusty raised a dummy, but Cody, but Cody Rhodes, he said that he's just trying to win a championship, and everybody's trying to make it personal. But to the tribal chief, this is personal. This is
Oh,
his life. This is like you're trying to dethrone him. You're trying to take him away from the island of relevancy. Without these titles, there is no bloodline. There is no Paul Heyman. There's no Roman Reigns. Like this is everything.
okay.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I lost it completely. I'm sorry. I completely lost it. I don't know what I even brought that up for.
Well, we were talking about the Raw segment with Heyman and Cody, and because Heyman made it personal, now Cody has a reason, or he has, I don't know, more of an incentive not to just be. Yeah, the goal is to be champion. That's his dream. That's what he's fighting for. But now it's not just Roman's not just an obstacle. He's something that he has to overcome.
Yeah.
I worded that really bad, but
Yeah, I forgot where I was going with it.
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll just move on. It's all good.
But yeah, so that's how we end SmackDown, which leads us into tonight, or yesterday, whenever you're watching this, or 2 days ago when this is uploaded. If you're here live, what's up? Elimination Chamber. We have the Elimination Chamber match first,
The
and
women's
it's the
elimination.
women's.
Yeah.
Yes, the women's elimination match. We have Carmella, Rochelle Rodriguez.
Liv
I'm sorry.
Morgan, Asuka, Natalia, and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, and it's Raquel Rodriguez.
Who
Sorry.
cares? Fuck her.
Um, so we started the match with, because I'm sure you didn't watch it. We
No, I did
started the
actually.
match with
I watched it.
Liv and Natty. Oh, you did?
Yeah, we started off with Liv and Natty, Nikki. What I didn't like is starting off, each one entered the ring, and then whoever was in the pod, the one that wasn't in the pod, they'd slap the glass. That shit got really old, real quick.
Yeah, they all did the whole. circle the pods and do the stare down thing.
And the elimination chamber doesn't look intimidating anymore.
I was I was put off by the cameras,
Yeah, I was put
like the
off by the
camera
pods.
angles. It seems like in the men's match they had better camera angles,
I guess.
but for the women's match, like they were shooting it like between the fence post or between the gap of the fence
Yeah.
and like through the pod. I don't know. It's just they just didn't have good angles. Uh, and once I got used to it at the like mid match, it seemed like it got better. I don't know.
Yeah, I just the pods look like it looks like McDonald's playhouse equipment versus like what the elimination chamber used to look like. It doesn't look like the most intimidating and brutal structure.
Well, they have it now because I guess because of the whole sound effect that it makes.
Hell, the outside of the ring, it's not metal anymore. Remember when it was just this great thing?
It wasn't metal. What is it?
I don't think so. I don't know. It didn't look like it was metal. I could be wrong on that. It looked like it was just a extension of the ring.
Oh, I guess I didn't pay that close attention to it.
Yeah, maybe I didn't either. I know it's black.
We can agree on that.
Yeah. So yeah, Liv Morgan and Natalia started. Natalia looks like the cat lady from Nip Tuck. If anybody knows, you know. If you don't, look it up. Um, yeah, it it was a match.
hmm
I
Does it?
think. Yeah, I mean, it was a match. It was pretty good. It was better than I thought it would be. It was better than the men's pod match. I thought.
Yeah.
I can't stand Nikki Cross, and fortunately, she was the first one eliminated. She was thrown through a pod by Raquel Rodriguez, and then Rodriguez pulled her back into the ring and pinned her. Liv Morgan, God, fucking hate her too. Um, she was taken out by Natalia's sharpshooter and the Rings of Saturn by Asuka. And of course, instead of tapping out, she had to pass out because she's a badass.
Oh, and she was smiling too
Yeah,
because she
because
loves pain.
she's a badass.
But I will say, her and that sharpshooter, you know, the cheeks were out, so I did appreciate that.
Okay.
You gotta give her that credit. The cheeks are there.
She's not hard on the eyes. It's just, unfortunately, the rest of it is.
That's what makes it so unbelievable that that she's like this hardcore legend.
Right.
It's like, look at you. You don't even have a cut on your face.
Right. Not one scar.
Like you're not missing any teeth.
No. You don't even look like you've hit a wall, let alone a person.
Yeah.
Natalia was the next one eliminated. I didn't see what happened to her, though. Or I don't remember.
Natalia. Actually, I missed it too because it happened really quick. But Carmella, she had Asuka and a sharpshooter, and I think Carmella like super kicked her in the back of the head or something.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I missed it too because it happened like right after the live thing, so I was writing.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so Natalia was next, and then um, Raquel Rodriguez was eliminated after that. She got kicked the shit out of by both Carmella and Asuka. Carmella was super kicking her a bunch, and Asuka was ninja kicking her. And of course, they both had to pin her because she's quote unquote strong. And I love how she came out and then she did the little back pose. And as much as I hate Rhea Ripley, she's got the back. If anybody should be doing that back pose, it's her. Raquel Rodriguez is a joke. She was barely bigger than that little tiny referee that they had.
Mm.
Just an aside. So after Rodriguez is pinned by both Asuka and Carmella because Rodriguez is so super duper strong, um, that leaves us with Carmella and Asuka. Now, I was really nervous actually, and the only reason I watched this from start to finish is because I watched it for Asuka. So they had a little back and forth of near falls where they're both trying to pin each other, and you think Carmella is just gonna weasel her way out of it, and then finally Asuka gets her in the rings of Saturn, and Carmella taps out. So Liv Morgan should learn how to fucking do that. And
Yeah,
then
that's Asuka's new little finisher. Still don't know the name of it yet.
the rings of Saturn's her new finisher.
It's like a modified Rings of Saturn,
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm calling it.
but it doesn't look comfortable. I can tell you that.
No, sure doesn't.
Like she's
I thought,
she's like cranking your arm like a gear shift. I mean, the Rings of Saturn itself wasn't comfortable.
right.
I've put my share of people in the Rings of Saturn. I know it's not comfortable.
But yeah, I thought this might have been the best or the best match of the night for me. And I never thought I'd ever say that about a ladies match, but there you go. Um, Even with Liv Morgan and what's her head, Cross.
Cross.
Yeah, Rodriguez is annoying, but at least she's athletic, and like I can hate Rodriguez on a different level. With Cross and Liv Morgan, I just don't want them on my television set. And I'm really concerned with how they're going to build Asuka against Belair. Like if they brought her, I don't know, if they made her just have little funky face paint now and be more dangerous and tenacious, just to have her to lose to Belair, that'd be kind of lame to me.
I don't think she's losing. I think she's gonna win.
I hope so.
Um, it is to note that Asuka is the first female to have won the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Elimination Chamber.
Really?
So there is that stat. Yeah,
Hmm.
and both titles. I mean, she's pretty much won every title. She's done like everything in WWE. She's won the tag title. She's won the Raw title, the SmackDown title. She's won, like we just said, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and Money in the Bank. So she's won every little thing that they have that she can win.
It's kind of crazy that she's not um, celebrated more for that, I guess. You know how,
I'm sure
like,
they'll mention it on Raw.
yeah. Well, you know how Booker T or Ric Flair, like, 16-time world champion, that type of shit?
Yeah.
Like, you don't really see. They have her act like a fucking cartoon instead.
I'm sure they'll, like I said, I'm sure they'll bring it up on Raw.
Mm.
But they need to really start putting respect on her name because she's about to be their champion.
I hope so. That'd be nice, especially if she's a heel. Like, I don't know where they're going with the. They haven't really. I've noticed that they'll make a change, but they don't really follow up with it. They just like, oh, okay, well, this is different now. but they don't explain why or the motivation, or they don't build on it. It's just there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if she's a heel.
I don't either.
Maybe she is, but
She almost kind of has to
she's
be though
getting,
against Belair, wouldn't she?
no, I think she gets cheered. If
Okay,
anything, maybe you turn Belair as the heel.
you think so?
Yeah. I mean, Asuka's so over with the fans.
Yeah,
I mean, look at her. She's got her most viewed video we have.
that's true.
Like, she's over. So I think they're gonna have to turn Belair heel for this.
Okay,
Um,
I'd rather
it's not a
Asuka be
bad
the
thing
heel.
because
You can have
yeah.
heel champions. You can cheer for a heel. Look at Roman.
Well, he won cheered tonight. Now, come WrestleMania, I bet you he's gonna get some cheers.
I don't know.
I bet you the old school. You know, I was watching. Just side note, has nothing to do with anything. But I was watching like old school wrestling, like 80s era stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like if something made me want to go back and look at like the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant like story, and before it was Andre the Giant, it was Roddy Piper. He was he did WrestleMania 1 with Hulk Hogan,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Well,
was talking about how
he did a tag match with Piper and Orndorff, or was it Orton?
Orton,
And then was it Mr. T, the his tag partner?
Hogan's,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So no, that was yeah, Orndorff.
Okay, so it was Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper, and they had a tag match.
Yeah,
And
against
then
Hogan and Mr.
WrestleMania
T.
2, I think it was Orndorff and Hogan. And then I think WrestleMania 3 was Andre. Did I fuck you up?
Yeah, but that's okay.
I could be wrong. I'm not saying. Let's check real quick.
Yeah, I think WrestleMania 1 was Piper, just
I
Piper,
know it was.
and
No,
then
it
WrestleMania 2 was the tag match.
no. WrestleMania 2 is when Piper boxed Mr. T. I'm pretty sure. No, I gotta fucking look now.
Well, anyway, I was looking at it, and yeah, Piper was was like the biggest heel of the time
Mm-hmm.
when he was going to main event against Hulk Hogan, and I couldn't imagine him getting cheers. That's that's where I'm going with all that. Like back in the day when you were a heel, you were a heel. You were out there to. It was your job to not get cheered.
Right. It was your job to be hated. Hulk
Speaking
Hogan
of
and
which, they
Mr. T
really
with Jimmy Snuka defeated Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper with Bob Orton Jr. Uh,
at WrestleMania 1.
yeah, that was WrestleMania 1.
So when did
And
him and Hogan go one on one at a
who?
WrestleMania? Piper.
Um, yeah, let's find out.
Get your history notes out, people.
Oh, it was King Kong Bundy and Hogan. WrestleMania 2. I was wrong on that. I thought it was Orndorff. But he did. Hold on.
Or maybe I got my facts wrong.
Well,
I'll
your
just say
facts
I
are
did.
definitely wrong.
And now we're just educating.
Yeah, Mr. T with Joe Frazier defeated Roddy Piper with whoever the fuck that is. So yeah, they had a boxing match. So I know they wrestle.
So
I
Piper
don't
never main evented a WrestleMania with Hogan.
I don't know. Hold on.
At Madison Square Garden.
Come on, you bastard.
I mean,
Orndorff boxing match. They had a hair versus hair match. Not Hogan. Well, WrestleMania 3 was, I believe that was Andre. Yeah. So, no.
okay. It wasn't. It would have been before WrestleMania 3, what I was thinking of. So
Okay.
didn't know. Okay. Well, there you go. Anyway, Piper wasn't getting cheered. Like he was doing whatever he could to be booed. Maybe. Yeah, we have to move on. We have to. Um, but I do say that the ladies they did bust their ass for this match. Even Nikki Cross, she did that spot where she dove off of the top of the chamber pod, and she really dove. She wasn't like trying to take care of herself. She like really flew off that thing. Um,
I I
but it
don't.
was a good.
I remember the ladies just standing at the bottom of the pod like idiots, waiting to catch her. So and that
Well,
needs to change.
yeah, well, of course, but that's just what they do now. As you saw in the men's when Montez Ford was doing whatever he was doing, and they were just standing there for like minutes. They almost stood there for a whole minute while he was doing all that.
So going back a little bit, Piper and Hogan.
A little bit.
They wrestled February 18th, 1985, and the event was called a War to Settle the Score.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
So,
Boy, that wasn't WrestleMania.
no.
That is the exact thing that I was talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's I guess the thing was that kind of created the idea of WrestleMania. Like they saw how big that was,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, I mean, this thing could really be successful. Let's try this." So made them try WrestleMania. So yeah, that's where I got confused there.
Well, the Andre storyline was really good too because, they were friends.
Yeah.
And then Andre turned on him and tore his cross.
Well, I mean, was did Andre turn on him or did Hogan turn on him?
Andre turned on him.
Because Hogan was like a spotlight whore. Like
Hogan was the
you gotta.
Hogan was the man. He was just giving people what they wanted. Andre couldn't handle it. With his
like
little, I gotta talk like this.
like you get the Hogan. They got the trophy. He got the big trophy for being the champion for 3 years, but on the other hand, you got Andre the Giant gets a little trophy for being undefeated for 15 years. Like, like here's your little trophy, brother.
Well, it's
Even though
not.
it wasn't his trophy, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
he wasn't. He was kind of egging it on though.
Yeah, I say so. Hogan, going back, you can kind of see why people would hate Hogan.
Yeah,
Not me though. He was the greatest.
and I don't even know why I was watching that that far back. Oh, yeah, something happened where I was like, I want to watch this story. I guess because of the Bloodline story's been so good,
Mm,
I wanted to go back and watch like the Andre the Giant because that, we were a lot younger when that story came out or started,
right.
so we didn't really understand what was going on. So just to watch it as an adult,
So,
like for my remembrance of that was you have this big guy and Hogan slams him. Like that's all I remember of that whole thing.
well, I was a big fan of the. I think The Princess Bride is the greatest movie of all time, and I remember watching the shit out of that when I was younger. So I probably knew that before I knew about wrestling, and I knew about Andre the Giant because of that. So um, I was very very familiar with, and of course Hulk Hogan. So Hulk Hogan versus the Fezzik, or not Fezzik, but the Giant from Princess Bride. Yeah, I was all over that shit. I knew all about his wrestling and had the little Raw where he was in it.
Hmm. Well,
So I was reading about how people are saying that the Bloodline is the greatest wrestling storyline of all time.
that's it. That's it. Thank you.
Okay,
Now you made me remember.
gotcha.
Like that's why I started to go back and watch those, like, just look up a list of greatest storylines. That's where it got me into like, okay, let's start with Hogan and Andre. We'll revisit this is just me,
Mm.
revisit the NWO. There was another storyline that was on a lot of lists too. I was gonna go rewatch that story.
I mean, I think the NWO storyline beats it.
Beats the Bloodline.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know. I don't know if they do.
Yeah.
Just because, just because it ran way too long and
Well, the Bloodline's not over
the
yet.
ending. Yeah, I mean, like if they're doing this like 2 years from now, then it would have ran way too long.
Well, they could do
And
it 2 years from now. They just have to do it right.
I think maybe you have one more year out of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
If, but, um, but yeah, that's long-term storytelling. That's like Hogan, Andre the Giant type stuff.
Well, I'm just
Hogan
saying, like,
Macho, Hogan Macho. The Hogan. Oh, go ahead.
well, the NWO storyline was also revolutionary.
It was.
That changed that not only changed how TV was done, but it also changed how they did business. There was all that tampering shit. There was two. Caused it caused WWF to do the DX shit.
Hmm.
So I mean, the Bloodline hasn't really. It's
Well,
not
we're comparing the
revolutionary.
stories.
Isn't that what we're fucking? What are the greatest storyline of all time, right?
I know, but we're comparing the stories
Right.
to the Bloodline story to
Uh
the
huh.
NWO story.
Yes.
Like,
And the NWO
the story
story.
has to have a beginning, middle, and end. So you got to take account into the end. And again, the
Okay.
Bloodline, they're still in their stories. So we don't know how it ends, but that you got you got to see how it ends. You can't just have the beginning and that be the whole story.
Well, I'd say I would contest that the beginning of the NWO is probably the best, better than the anything the Bloodlines come out with yet. Maybe the I didn't see Jay and Roman though. I don't know if does that count? Is that still Bloodline?
Well, that's what started it all.
Okay,
So yeah,
okay,
I would say that yeah, that first series of matches between Jay and Roman, that would be the start of the whole bloodline thing.
okay. Yeah, so I didn't see that, so I might that might change my mind, but I don't know. Just you got top guys from a different company. This was back in the time when they never even acknowledged that there was other wrestling promotions. It came out in street clothes. Just started beating the shit out of everybody. You had cops with guns. Then you had the USA versus Canada shit that the Bret Hart did. That was great.
Hmm.
He made an entire country hate hate the company. I think that's better than the Bloodline.
Well, I guess that's all subjective.
Yeah, of course it is.
We have to go back and look
But
at these stories.
as you said multiple times though, the Bloodline storyline isn't done yet. So I guess it's not as unfair as it is to say it's the greatest storyline of all time. It's also unfair to say that something's better because this hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, and the amount of story that's being told here is, I, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a day where we have to, or at least I will, have to go back and watch the NWO thing again because I remember it starting off. It started off really hot,
Mm-hmm.
um, but then you got to a point where you know they had Wolfpack and
Yeah,
and the Latin NWO.
right.
So they're really
LWO and
stretching. Yeah, they're really BWO.
yeah,
And that wasn't really in
that was
WCW though. That
ECW.
was in
Yeah.
ECW, and it was a riff. But they're really stretching it when they're splitting it off into sections.
Well, I think it started going downhill after the whole Sting stuff.
Oh yeah, and you had weeks of Sting sitting in the Raptors.
Well, no, that was great. He never said anything. He was just watching. You never knew if he was, is he WCW? Is he NWO? Is he still deciding? And then he came down and you still didn't know. And then he finally had that match with Hogan and he dethroned Hogan. And I think that they, if I remember correctly, they kind of botched the finish there though. And I kind of threw a wet blanket on everything. Oh shit, maybe. Huh. Huh.
I don't remember that, but
I do. I remember because I think I think Bret Hart was the special guest referee, and they basically did like a little bullshit Montreal Screwjob type thing where I think Sting got him in the Scorpion Deathlock, but I don't know something fucky with the referee, and Bret's like, I'm not gonna stand for this.
mhm. I remember I remember parts of that. Yeah, I remember Bret Hart
So
being a special guy. He had like a sleeveless shirt when he was special.
of course, or a hockey jersey
Yeah,
with shorts.
yeah, with his shorts.
Yeah, and his fanny pack.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
anyway,
everything
we're
up
we're
to
way off the
oh, sorry. Go ahead. Get
we're
us back
way
on
off the
track.
rails. Let's really
Yeah,
back
yeah.
here. These are conversations for a different day. So part two, we move on to Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Um, if you want to call this a match,
I wouldn't.
I, like I said, this this is basically you're playing the video game and you just preload your match full of finishers, and then you just spend the rest of the time doing finishers on each other. This
Yeah,
is what this match was. There was just spears and F5s.
yeah. Lesnar starts off by suplexing Lashley a few times, and then Lashley spears Lesnar, and then Lesnar F5s Lashley, and then Lashley spears. I didn't spears Lesnar. I don't know why I said Edge.
You didn't.
My notes say Edge.
Oh.
Uh, Lashley spears Lesnar, and then he gets him in a or tries to get him in a hurt lock. No. He got him in the hurt lock, and then Lesnar kicks him in the dick for a DQ loss. And then Lesnar
Because he
F5s the
wasn't getting out of that hurt lock.
right, and then Lesnar F5s the ref. He F5s Lashley twice, and then he throws him through the table with an F5.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed, actually.
Um, I wasn't. I knew it was gonna be. I knew what the match was gonna be.
I wasn't upset with that. I was upset with the fact that it was a disqualification finish. I think this is what the crown jewel match should have been.
Well, I don't think this is the last of it.
Clearly not.
I
But
think this goes over to WrestleMania, and then Bray already made his intentions known that he wants this. So now we're looking at what a triple threat match between the two, three.
I I don't know. I'd be
But
I would be surprised if Brock agrees to a match with Bray Wyatt. If he won't
well,
wrestle Riddle for
no,
God's sake.
so you're either getting the triple threat or they're gonna run it back Brock versus Lashley at WrestleMania.
You don't think it's going to be Lashley and Wyatt?
No, they're
Okay.
clearly not done with this story,
Yeah, but they're clearly
and
okay
Brock's not
with
missing WrestleMania.
they're clearly okay with pausing it for a while though.
So where does Brock go?
I don't know.
I guess
That's to be determined.
I guess he just comes out and picks like he doesn't need Brock doesn't need, he just comes out and picks who he wants next.
I mean, maybe there's still hope for the Gunther thing.
I don't see it happening this year.
I just think the dick kick was a way to get Brock to lose without losing, so he doesn't have to fucking wrestle Bray Wyatt.
Well, his whole thing has been about, his whole last few weeks has been about all I can think about is Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Like I can't get it out of my mind. I need to beat this guy.
Yep.
So, and then he does the low blow, so he still hadn't beat him.
Nope.
So now it's just turning into even more of an obsession. So he's got to get this victory.
I'm in bed with my wife, and after about 5 or 6 hours, I'm still thinking about.
I know. I was like, can you imagine being Sable? Like, oh, not in a weird way, but oh, I'm sure that's gonna be clipped. But anyway, I'm saying in a like feel sorry for her way that she's got to get pounded for 5 hours. She, she can't walk after the week. She has to spend the week in bed rest.
At least a day.
Yeah,
Like she has to take the Monday to just lie in bed all day.
like if she had like a regular day job, She'd have to call into work. Hey, we're gonna have sex tonight. Oh, let me tell my manager I'm not gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah, I bet it's not. I bet it's not pretty. I bet it looks. I bet it looks like borderline assault.
Yeah, he's probably like, I see him as not like a take it slow kind of guy. It's just like a his one of his matches, just like power punches the whole time. Just
Gets a running start from across the room.
yeah, like a Happy Gilmore's golf swing.
The worst part is you see how bad he sweats during his matches.
Oh, she's drenched.
Yeah, can you imagine getting violated with a jackhammer and then you got sweat pouring, some other person's sweat just pouring on your face?
And it's on her side of the bed, so she's got to sleep in it too.
Oh yeah, of course.
And he just rolls over. Hey, you got a little sweat on my side. Can you fix it? Can you get a towel? There's a little bit of wetness on my side.
It feels a little misty.
Meanwhile, it's like it's like someone poured a cup of water on her side. Yeah,
So that was Lashley versus Lesnar.
yeah. I mean, you could also not clip it too, so
Oh, I'll clip it.
there's that. You know, just a quick funny note is Conan, he had this thing. It's one of the stories that we were going to go over, but um, I can just talk about it here. So, Conan, he had this thing on social media. You have this AEW guy, his name is Takeshita. He, on one of the Dynamites, he did a frog splash. And Conan on his show made a stink about it. He said something to the effect of, "You're not Mexican. Why are you doing a frog splash? Like, stick to your own nationality."
Kevin Owens, Montez Ford.
Well, yeah. So he says this.
I think Dawkins does a frog splash too, doesn't he?
Well, he does. Yeah, he does the D'Lo one.
Okay.
D'Lo Brown, RVD. There's some more.
Yeah, there you go. So
Um.
I don't understand where Conan's coming from there.
Well, so he said this, and then Miro, he said, "I bet that Conan guy or whatever his name is couldn't last 10 minutes with Takeshita, or 10 seconds." And then Conan pretty much backtracked and said he was just joking. And he said in his little thing of backtracking, he's like, "Oh, you didn't listen to the show and you just take everything out of context. You don't get the full story." Now, where am I going with that? Because when I just said part of what I was thinking when that story came out was like, well, you don't understand the internet. You could say anything, someone clips it, and then you're out of context, and then that just happened to me.
Oh well, they don't even have to do that nowadays. They can just make you say whatever they want you to say. You see them voice altering shit?
Oh, the deep fakes?
Yeah. There's a video
Yeah, I was
saying
gonna.
of Biden saying that women that transgender men aren't real women. They'll never be women. Blah 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 blah. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I was gonna do I don't know. I was thinking about doing Morgan Freeman like as our show open.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, that'd be neat.
like let me script something and then do the AI thing, and then it sounds like Morgan Freeman does our show open.
I wouldn't be opposed to Morgan Freeman. Either that or Steven Seagal.
Well,
It would be
I
more
was thinking of like a
it would
good.
be more believable if we use Steven Seagal.
Well, Morgan Freeman just has that voice.
Right, but Steven Seagal needs the money.
Oh, uh, can't help him there. Um, anyway, so after that Brock Lesnar Bray Wyatt thing, we go to a commercial that I want to talk about.
Okay,
I don't know if you saw it, but Seth. So they're pumping up WrestleMania.
this is the Joker commercial.
Yes,
Yeah, I fucking hated it.
I thought it was awesome. Seth Rollins was like a perfect rendition of the Joker,
No, he
and
wasn't,
then you
because
have
then he laughed. He did a stupid Seth Rollins laugh. He was Seth Rollins in face paint. And then you have Becky Lynch come in. Oh, I'm going to talk like this because that's what they did in a movie.
yeah, and
And
then
I'm going to go to
he's
my
like,
I'm going to go to my man cave. Oh, she's the man. Fuck it. Fuck the everything about it.
no, you missed parts, and
What did I
it's
miss?
important parts.
What important
Okay,
parts that
so you have Seth Rollins. He has the face paint on. Becky Lynch. So it's Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. It's not the Joker and the Batman. And she's like, Why do you have that on your face? He said,
but
it's exfoliating.
Becky Lynch is clearly trying to be Batman.
Yeah, but without saying it. But she's
Yeah,
like,
she
why do
wants
you
her
got that on your
man
face?
cave.
Why do you got that on your face? It's exfoliating. That's what he says. And then she says, I'm going to the man cave. And Seth Rollins said, I didn't know we had a man cave. And she's like, of course you don't, because I'm the man. And puts her glasses on. And then he looks at the camera. She is the man. It was awesome. You want to talk about this is awesome chant? That should have got the this is awesome chant.
Should have got somebody fired.
Why don't I know about the man cave? Because I'm the man.
God, fuck Becky Lynch. Fuck everything about her. Seth Rollins too. It's a fucking stupid commercial. First of all, when was the Joker? Isn't that's done and dead already? Way to be 2 years late, WWE. 3 years
What are you
late.
talking about? It's coming. They got the new one coming out.
Oh, is there a new one?
Well, it's not. Yeah.
So you're saying I'm late?
Well, that was Joker one that they were doing, but
Of course.
there is a
Yeah, there
second
you
one
go.
coming out, so it's
So
still timely.
it's not timely because they're using the first one.
I mean, they said they're reacting old commercial or promos or whatever they are, trailers.
And Batman wasn't even in that Joker. So it made absolutely no. And he was trying to be, he was trying to be Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. He was trying to be Heath Ledger's Joker. This, fuck him. Fuck everything about this fucking commercial. Why the fuck did you bring it up?
Cause it was awesome.
It was stupid.
The for the one line.
I'm the
I didn't
man.
know we had. I didn't know we had a man cave. Of course you don't, cause I'm the man. You don't know how hard I was laughing at that. It was uncomfortable how hard I laughed at that. I said, "Who am I? Why is this so funny to me?"
I don't
And
know.
I knew you were gonna hate it because I knew you were gonna hate it because she called herself the Mon.
It's not even that. It's the way she said it and the way she was trying to do the. I didn't like it
And
when
put her
Christian Bale
glasses
did
on.
the stupid Batman growl, let alone when people fucking impersonate it poorly. And then you had Seth Rollins doing two Jokers.
Oh, you've been really controversial criticizing Christian Bale as Batman.
No, fuck Christian Bale's Batman. He was the worst Batman.
Oh boy, don't do that.
Nope, fuck Christian Bale's Batman. It was the worst Batman. I would take Val Kilmer and George Clooney's Batman over Christian Bale any day.
Mm.
He sucked. Worst Batman ever. Anything else? And then you got Becky Lynch, worst worst female wrestler ever. Trying trying to impersonate the worst Batman ever. It's just awful. And then you got Seth Rollins impersonating one of the worst Jokers ever.
Not the Heath Ledger one.
No, of course not. I'm not. No,
Okay.
I'm not that much of a contrarian. I can see reason sometimes.
Okay.
No,
Just making sure.
I thought the Joaquin Phoenix Joker was so fucking overrated.
Mm, I mean, it was kind of a boring movie.
Yeah, you took a psychopath that was interesting and unpredictable, and then you just made him have daddy issues. And it's just, I don't know. And he wanted to suck Robert De Niro's dick throughout the whole movie.
Boy, it needed to get on TV.
Yeah, not. I thought it was overrated. But anyway,
But yeah, so we go to then another Ariel Helwani segment right after that promo. Ariel Helwani pretty much pumps up being in Montreal, talking about the last time they were there. There was the screw job,
no, you said Ariel
and
Helwani was in the news recently, right? Sort of.
yes, so well, he wasn't in the news,
Okay.
but so Ariel Helwani he showed up on SmackDown yesterday because they were in Montreal, and he showed up in the crowd. Thought nothing of it. Is like, oh, whatever. He's there. He's pumping up. He's pumping up, getting ready for Elimination Chamber, trying to make it bigger than it is. Everybody saw the segment, thought nothing of it. Now, me personally, I go on Twitter afterwards, and I see a tweet, and the tweet is from Tony Khan, that being the the top guy over at AEW. And Tony Khan, the CEO of AEW, mind you, Tony Khan, he tweets at Ariel Hawani after the segment, "You're a fraud." um, you're as credible as a reporter as Tony Schiavone. Now this calls back to a few months ago.
Well, real quick, what was the segment? You said there was a segment on SmackDown. What was the segment?
The exact same thing. He was in the crowd with the microphone saying the people were excited for Elimination Chamber,
Okay. So
and the Montreal
is that
hasn't
literally
seen.
all he said was that the crowd's excited?
Yeah, he didn't say
Okay.
anything. He's just being a hype man in the crowd.
Gotcha. So then Tony Khan, like a petty little bitch, decided to peel scabs off of an old wound.
Yes,
Okay.
because yes, it goes back to when Tony Khan was on Ariel Helwani's show,
When he agreed to an
and
interview and then didn't ask or answer a single fucking question.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Fuck Tony Khan. He's a fucking
and
egotistical son of a bitch. You know what? This motherfucker had a golden key. As soon as Vince McMahon was resigned from his sexual, his issues, Tony Khan had a golden egg to fucking pull ahead from WWE because they allegedly had the talent and they didn't do shit. And then they have one of the quote unquote greatest generational talents in MJF. He won the title. They haven't done shit with him. Every match he's been in since has been boring. They got Action Andretti as one of their more compelling storylines. Mark Briscoe's over, and that's just because of the J thing. It just he needs to fucking figure out how to book. Calling him a booker or a president or any sort of creative genius is laughable. That's like calling Tony Schiavone a journalist.
he's the CEO.
He sucks.
But and they're also in the running to buy WWE apparently,
I
or they want to be in the running. I don't know if they are in the running, but they want to be.
I don't think they'd listen to him.
I mean,
There's no way in
if they
hell
brought
that
enough,
there's no way in hell that Vince McMahon will work for Tony Khan. No way.
oh, he wouldn't. They'd fire him. But if they brought enough money to the table, if they're, because so Vince McMahon apparently they want like, excuse me, they want 9 billion. That's his selling price for WWE, 9 billion.
Okay.
So if Tony Khan and his dad, of course, because he needs his dad,
Of
if
course.
they say, hey, we'll give you 12 billion, you want 9 billion, we'll give you 12 billion. Maybe, maybe they don't listen. Maybe Vince McMahon says no. But it's not just him. Now you got shareholders like, wait a minute, why are we not taking $12 billion? Like they're paying you, you know, $3 million over what you're asking for. Why are we not taking this? Or 3 billion? What's going on here?
Well, Vince
You
McMahon
really have the best interests
Vince
for
is the
us?
largest shareholder.
I know, but there's still shareholders.
So I mean, if he turns down a would you say $12 million? If he turns down,
Billion.
oh, okay, Doctor Evil did. If he turns down $12 billion, that's also $12 billion in his pocket too.
Right, to be petty.
I don't even think it would be petty. He just out more for Tony Khan.
It's like one of those moments where
What is
I don't know if it's happened to you, but like your spouse, they tell you something, like, oh, they were gonna offer me $5,000, but I told them no. I didn't want it because I didn't want the job. It's like, wait, what? You turned down what? You didn't think we should talk about that? No, I didn't want the job. Well, I mean, that's that's a pretty good advance. Maybe I mean at least worth the talking about before you said no.
well, if he doesn't think his company is going to be in good hands, I don't see why Vince would want to sell it. I mean, look what Tony's done with Ring of Honor.
Well, I'm not advocating that they should buy.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if they make a ridiculous offer that's way over what they're asking, then better yet, if someone you see in the movies where like someone sees a house and then they're like, "I'll give you $1 million to move out of this house right now so I can move in." Nah, but the house is valued at like $100,000, and you're shooting down $1 million because you don't want to move.
Meh.
Now you're not just affecting you; you're affecting your neighbors because it's $1 million. Someone pays $1 million. Now it's $1 million neighborhood property value.
Yeah, but if you have the biggest house on the block, or your house gets the brunt of all the decisions that are made.
Well, I guess.
I don't know. I just think Tony's a little bitch. He needs to fucking worry about putting on a good wrestling product, and less about what some journalist who he refused to ask or answer questions for does on his free time. He's not even in this. He's not even in the same country he's in. And he's fucking tweeting about it. Fuck him.
Well, he felt betrayed, and then now you have people that are
Betrayed
like,
how? He agreed to an interview. Every question that Ariel Helwani asked that wasn't prepping or promoting Dynamite or Rampage, he fucking wouldn't answer because he wanted to be a little snotty, pretentious little whore. Fuck him.
I'm saying he felt. I'm not justifying it. I'm just telling you what it is.
Well, then he's stupid.
Like you, you thinking I'm defending this? I'm just giving you information.
Well, I'm telling
I'm
you,
not defending any of it.
he's a dum dum.
I know, but I'm not defending any of it.
This is
I
what
don't have an
happens.
opposite
This is what
opposite
happens when you
opinion
grow
here.
up rich and your rich daddy coddles you. You don't have any fucking thick skin. You don't understand business. That's why every conference call he has to talk about his fucking feelings and his personal life and all that bullshit. Fuck him.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about there, but
He had remember when William Regal left and he had that conference call. Did you listen to any of that?
oh, we talked about his parents, or his
He's like,
mom.
"Oh, my mom was sick." Blah 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 blah. He went on his personal a wrestling call, a business call. He's supposed to be informing his shareholders the state of of the company, and he wants to talk about sitting in the hospital and some irrelevant shit.
Well, he knew. Obviously, he knew that those questions were going to come, so he addressed it before it even, like before he even asked. Like, because William Regal had just left like the week before, so
Right, right.
obviously people were going to ask about it. It's like before you even ask, let me tell you, and then we can move on. Like
Well, no,
he
no, no,
can't
no, no,
just,
no.
oh, I'm not going to comment on that. Then
He
he's back where whatever Helwani's complaining about. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that. Let's just talk about how great my company is.
no. He was talking about how his mom was sick and how he was sitting in the hospital and then how William Regal visited him in the hospital and he could have just kept it to William Regal, but no, he wanted to give the sob story about his mom.
That was a media call or media thing.
That's even worse. No,
It
not
wasn't
one,
a.
not one fucking person there was interested in his mom.
Well,
Not one
they
person
needed.
asked about that. Not one person invited that train of thought. He voluntarily went into this soliloquy about his sick mom. And it sucks that his mom was sick. I don't know. I don't know what happened to her, or if she's still around, or what. And I hope she is still around. That's not my thing. But for him to just bring it up out of the blue because he wants a little sympathy points because he fucked up, he mismanaged. He mismanaged his personnel, and he wanted little sympathy points, and he wants to be treated with kid gloves. He wants to control the situation on the questions that he's asked. He thinks he's Vince McMahon. He thinks he's a fucking big player. He's not.
Well, he is.
No, he's not. He's a fucking rich kid that whose dad bought him a toy.
I mean, there's still. You can't take that money away. Like you can't, you know. Never mind. I don't want to get into that.
The
Well,
re-
I'm gonna get into it a little bit. Donald Trump. he started he started to build his empire off of like a couple $1 million that his dad gave him.
right.
And I'm sure if he failed, he could have went back to his dad and said, "Hey, can I try again?" So that just because you start with the advantage doesn't mean anything,
Well,
or just because you
eventually,
have it, like you have an advantage.
eventually,
Okay, well,
daddy's eventually daddy's gonna run the well dry. He's gonna say, you know what, son, you've been paying Soraya millions of dollars and she ain't doing shit. It's about time we just pack it up. Maybe you can go back to collecting Hot Wheels.
well, a lot of people will be out of work, and they'll be over in
And
Impact.
that's okay. It's okay if the Young Bucks are out of work. It's okay if we don't see Darby Allen or Danhausen. I'm okay with that. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Okay, for you or them.
All of us. It's for the greater good.
Hmm. So next up, we got Edge and
Oh
Beth Phoenix versus Judgment Day,
man.
and I thought that this was going to be the down match, at least. Yeah, just because of how hot this show had started, and the crowd was um, behind everything. I thought that this was going to be like that moment where it's just going to be the down match. Everybody go take a break, or gear up for the main event. But it turned out to be a pretty fun match. Um, the crowd really didn't like Dom. There was a lot of "fuck you, Dom" chants. Dominic. There was a point where he was chased out of the ringside, and as he was out of the ringside through the curtain, the crowd's chanting "na na na na," "hey hey hey, goodbye," and or they're I'm sorry, they're singing it, and then out out comes Dominic again. Um, I can imagine what happened was they were so hot as far as giving him heat. I can imagine he was initially scripted to that to be the end of the night, him go through the curtain, but he probably went through the curtain and Triple H was like,
Get your ass
because he
back
heard
out there.
the yeah, because he heard the chanting, he's like, get out, get back out there. you getting you're getting major heat. You got to get back out there.
They haven't said enough disgusting things to you yet.
Yeah. So he goes back out there. So then they start chanting "fuck you, Dom" again. Um, Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley did the majority of this match,
Of course they did.
and because it's Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley. The end of the match saw two educators, one by Edge, one by Beth, um, doing it on each respective person. And Dominic gets up on the ring apron. He's distracting the ref. He throws brass knuckles. I'm sorry, this wasn't the end. This was a botch that I needed to point out. He throws brass knuckles into the ring. After the submissions are off, Rhea Ripley gets the brass knuckles and she hits Edge in the back of the head with the brass knucks. Edge is down for the count, and there was a botch here because Beth Phoenix was supposed to break the count up. Beth Phoenix was out of place, so she didn't get there in time. So Edge, because they were supposed to win the match, had to kick out. So he kicked out of a brass knuckle shot.
I mean, he did get
Just,
he only got hit by Rhea Ripley, so it's not that unbelievable.
okay. And then as we moved on in the match, oh, I didn't write down how it finished. I wrote down the botch. Oh, it finished with Edge and Beth hitting a Shatter machine, aka Big Rig. So I'm sure everybody's gonna blow that out of proportion. So expect by tomorrow. So to fill you in, that's FTR's finisher move that they won with.
Are you filling me in?
Yeah.
I know who FTR is.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they used that finisher to win. So I'm sure by tomorrow we're gonna hear a lot of FTR's teasing going back to WWE. Like, oh, especially with this week. There was this thing that happened with Dax Harwood. So he tweeted a picture. He just, you know, tweeted a picture. I'm sorry, no, this was on Instagram. He 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 had his nice new bottle of tequila. He takes a picture of it and he's like, "Oh, I'm about to sit down and enjoy this bottle of tequila." You would think nothing to that, right? Well, there was a piece of paper on his desk, and it caught in the camera, and you saw a little logo at the top of it, and it was like you could tell it was a WWE logo, even though there was like the smallest little corner of it, because it was like the red check thing and then the black W.
Right.
So you could tell it was like a WWE logo. So that got the internet talking already. Oh, he has this WWE contract on his desk. I don't know why they would have like their logo on top of a contract, but that's
Why
here nor
wouldn't
there.
they? If it's a WWE contract, why wouldn't they have the WWE logo?
I don't know. You gotta have an over the top logo on a contract.
It's the
Like, why wouldn't you
WWE.
just? I know, but why wouldn't you just put like I don't know. But okay, maybe it is. But yeah, that's what the internet made the connection of. Oh, that's a contract he's got on his desk, or at least something. What I think it is, honestly, is I don't know, someone probably Triple H sent him that bottle of tequila, and then you have a nice note with the WWE logo on it or something.
Probably.
And that's what it was, but it got blown out of proportion. And now you have Edge and Beth Phoenix doing the Shatter Machine, so and they even called it the Shatter Machine on commentary. So that's gonna blow it up even more. So yeah, just know if you see that through the week, that's why.
Well, if FTR comes to feud with fucking Judgment Day, ugh.
Well, not that they're coming to feud with Judgment Day, it's just that they're coming back to WWE because their contract, they're at the end of their contract
Right.
soon. So
I
it's
thought
like a
they were already
question of
gone
they're
because
off
they.
TV, but they're not gone.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so now it's a question of, and even them saying we don't know if we're gonna go back to WWE, stay in AEW,
Take a
just be
year off.
free agents. Yeah. So you got now people are reaching. If they did go back to WWE, because they did say this is like their last run. So if they did go back to WWE, I wouldn't even. I would think it makes sense. This is their last run. They've done like the Cody route. They left, they made themselves such a big name, and then now they come back to WWE. The only problem is, you know, other than the Usos, they don't really have a tag team that they could, you know, like after the Uso match, what do you have left? Hit
Owens and
Row?
Zayn.
Oh, okay. Way to ruin it.
the greatest tag
Oh,
team.
actually, you didn't ruin it. You made my point.
How's that?
Thank you.
How did I make your point?
Because I said, if they go back to WWE after the Usos, who do they really have left? And you said Owens and Zayn, which is not really a tag team. So you proved my point that
They
if they
they
go back
will
to
be when they
WWE,
beat the
there's not really
Usos.
okay. Yeah, they're gonna go on a 524-day reign as
Yep,
champion.
they're gonna be the
You're gonna
greatest
keep
tag team champions ever.
you're gonna keep Kevin Owens out of the main event scene that long?
I hope so.
Okay.
Hey, he, he had what, 2, 3 matches with Roman a couple years ago, and then he just got his ass whooped by Roman and got super kicked the shit out of. Yeah, keep him out of the main event for a while.
Well, it's not gonna be Roman too much longer, so now we're talking about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is gonna need opponents. I mean, he's just gonna have Seth Rollins. Oh, we're gonna have 8 months of Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, but he's not winning at Mania.
We'll see.
But he will win. He will win the titles, just not at Mania.
We'll see.
Uh,
I recollect challenging you to a bet.
and I'm gonna take it up. I'm just figuring out what we're
Um.
gonna help
Okay.
figuring it out.
Okay.
Now I see on your side you didn't really write anything for this match.
Oh, I
I
didn't watch it.
believe you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch a second of it. Fuck, fuck
So,
Rhea Ripley. Fuck Beth Phoenix. Fuck Edge and Finn Balor for participating in this match. I did see the stupid little double power bomb that was retarded. Um, I heard the chat. I heard the crowd chanting at Dominique, but yeah, I didn't really pay attention.
okay. And then we move on to the next thing match, which would be the men's elimination chamber match.
Can I just say how dumb it is to have an elimination chamber match for the United States title?
Yeah, I questioned that the first when they announced it.
Yeah, like if I was, if I was a participant in this match, I would withdraw because they defend it like every Monday.
Yeah, they even have an open challenge coming up this Monday,
It's
to which Edge is going to accept it.
well, there you go.
So, um, I would have. I was thinking about it, and honestly, I would have rather it been for the Intercontinental title, and you put Gunther in there against, you know, five other dudes.
I would have,
Um,
I would have rather just seen a women's elimination chamber match, and then they do something different for the dudes. Because the elimination chamber match should either be for a title or for an opportunity for a title. To have a match with this big of a stake for the U.S. title, I don't know. It'd be one
it
thing
did
if
seem,
it was a prestigious title.
yeah, if they did it for the Intercontinental title, which
Well,
been built up as very
the
prestigious.
if they did it for the Intercontinental title like 20 years ago,
Well, I'm saying, okay. Um, so we have Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Montez Ford. Those are your participants. Uh,
Johnny Gargano was the Nikki Cross of this match, and Montez Ford
meaning
was the
what?
Liv Morgan.
Meaning what?
Um, Johnny Gargano was just there, and Montez Ford was overacting. He was just totally overdoing everything. Like he would do little suck it signs in between his moves. Like I don't know, you're wrestling for a title. There's five other people around you. And you got time to do suck it gestures in between a drop kick.
You know, and a violent one at that. Like that was a violent cross chop.
Yeah,
Could you imagine if he
he's
caught
just,
one of his balls?
he's just really jerky and I don't know. He's weird.
Well, so I did a prediction on this. I thought Bronson Reed was going to win because I didn't think Theory was going to keep the title just because of the John Cena connection.
Okay.
But I guess, I mean, if maybe the match doesn't happen because we haven't heard anything yet,
Right.
you would think, with John Cena, but maybe they're just still getting to it and they wanted to get through the Elimination Chamber and then now they talk about it or now they announce it or at least announce that Cena's going to be at WrestleMania something. But
Well, the only thing I was sure of is that Gargano and Ford were not going to win. Everybody else was kind of up in the air for me.
I could have actually saw. So I said Bronson Reed was going to win because I didn't see him taking a pin
Right.
since he just came back
Right.
and he's been built pretty dominant.
Of course.
Um, but I could have seen Montez Ford winning, just because that would have given a storyline. Because Montez Ford wins, Angelo Dawkins, his partners, like congratulating him or something, and then turns on him, and then you build this story. You know, I'm not the Genetti or whatever.
Well, I
Like,
mean, there's a story if all of them win.
yeah. Well, I'm saying that particular story.
Oh.
So I could have seen them when go with Montez Ford to create that story and then split the street profits. Um, Johnny Gargano, he wasn't even on Raw, so you knew he wasn't winning. And Damian Priest, he's with Judgment Day. I don't think he was. I didn't think he was gonna win.
But can you imagine him winning and then all of a sudden, like, he's the only one in the Judgment Day with a title? So, he starts assuming more of a leadership role, and then Balor kind of takes issue with that.
Yeah, so that could have been another story. But they kept it on Austin Theory,
They did. Well, Reed
and how
was,
we got there.
yeah,
Mhm.
Reed was the first one eliminated, which was surprising.
Yeah, they did the whole
Everybody's
hit you
super
with every
position.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah, hit you with every move in the by every person. So he got a stomp, he got a one final beat, and then he got the frog splash.
right. So, although it only took one of them to pin him,
Yeah.
so he's not quite as strong as Raquel Rodriguez.
Well, I mean, look at the size of her back. There, I did think though Johnny Gargano had a good showing for him. Like
I guess.
he got, I think he showed people a glimpse of what we know of him in NXT is that he can go. Um, so maybe this is like a turn to make him not a comedy joke with Dexter Loomis, but I don't know. Maybe the damage has already been too much done,
Yeah, the
like
damage
too
is
far
done.
gone.
He,
Like, you're too far down to be able to come back from this.
I like the exchange he had with Rollins on top of the pod, where they were just kind of sitting there, and then they just started fighting.
Yeah, that was fun.
But Gargano is the second one to be eliminated. He's eliminated by Priest via Razor's Edge. And then Priest was eliminated. He got blockbustered by Montez Ford.
Yep, and then we're down to our final three.
Yep, Ford got curb stomped onto the black stuff, which I don't know, curb stomping the black guy is probably not a good look.
On not even in the ring, on the hard part,
Right.
like on the concrete. I put it in quotes.
He had a spot where he climbed on the cage and then just fell on everybody. I thought that was really dumb. It was one of those things where everybody just they stood there and watched.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It took him forever to get in position because, he climbed up and then he had to arm climb up because, his legs weren't on the cage anymore.
Right.
And then he had to do the monkey bar flip upside down thing.
Yeah, that's just
So
it's dumb.
I was like, what is he, what are we doing right now? And then, they're showing the crowd's chanting, "Holy shit!" Everybody's going crazy, and they're showing the replay, and you got the guys down there holding each other forever while he's doing all this climbing.
Right. It just yeah, it looked really phony and
And then when he was upside down, he had to make sure he was gonna fall safe, so he was
right.
like upside down looking to make sure his spot was right.
Which that's the worst part is when they look. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
just
some
jump.
I'm gonna do something crazy, but I gotta make sure everybody's in position.
Yeah,
Now the power bomb that Rollins did Gargano off the pod was great. That
they
was like,
didn't look. Now you can tell
or no,
Rollins was feeling now.
that wasn't a power bomb. That was a Frankensteiner.
Yeah, it was a power bomb into a Frankensteiner,
Right. That was great.
and yeah, they didn't look, and that was a crazy moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, with that curb stomp, Montez Ford was eliminated. Um,
And then he gets the most over dramatic exit I've ever seen in an elimination chamber match.
well, okay, so he gets the curb stomp, he's eliminated, and
And he's
as the
just
match,
laying there.
and then yeah, and then the refs, extra refs and paramedics, they run into the ring because apparently he took the stomp too hard on the outside
He
and he
got
was
curb
injured.
stomped.
I thought he was really injured, but I was like, oh, maybe he didn't get maybe he really hit his head or something. Because I wasn't watching that close. But then when they saw the replay, I said, no, he got his hands up. He's not he's not injured. And I was like, oh, here comes someone. So yeah, the paramedics are in the ring.
He's not a good actor.
They're checking on him. Oh, and then I didn't know if it was his head or his leg. I'm like, what is even injured? So he's limping but he's got one leg up like his leg is injured
He was
because
trying
he
to
took the curb
stagger.
stomp. Oh,
He was just really bad at it. That's what I'm
so
saying.
they,
Like, there's no, there's no doubt in my mind that this was a work or part of the show.
yeah. So as they're taking him out the elimination chamber. Now remember, he's already eliminated, but the door's open so they can get him out because the paramedics are there. They had to get in. Yada yada yada. Before they can close the door, in comes Logan Paul, and
He hits
he
hits Rollins with a buckshot lariat and then a curb stomp. and then Theory hits an A-Town down for the win.
Yes. So we have
Well,
officially 100% solidified our Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul match at WrestleMania.
and I'm glad that that's the match because I won't be upset about skipping over Seth Rollins match.
Oh, that's good.
I saw his
But
match
that's a.
against
I did. I did. Oh, go ahead.
I saw his match against Roman Reigns. That's all I need.
Okay. So I did. I wrote down that we did all this elimination chamber, all the qualifying matches. We did all that just to get to another Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory one-on-one for the title. All that just to mask another another match between them two.
Well, I'm more upset at the fact that Austin Theory has yet to have a decisive victory since he's been champion. It's always been like a
Oh,
fluke or he just lucks out. He's been just a piss poor champion up to this point. And he doesn't seem to be able to get to defend it one on one. I think he's only done it once.
well, maybe that'll change now that he's not. I say this, but maybe it'll. They're probably gonna do it anyway. Now that he's not doing a Rollins and Bobby Lashley match, maybe now he can get an actual victory because those are the two that he can actually, or the next person he can actually beat clean.
I guess.
But we move on then to our main event. Roman Reigns at now 902 days, 98 days away from being champion from for 1,000 days versus Sami Zayn. Um, I wrote down some timestamps here that I want to go over.
Okay.
So Roman Reigns, the entrance starts at 9:25. The entrance finishes at 9:30.
Okay.
So he got a 5-minute entrance. And then out comes Sami Zayn. His entrance was 4 minutes. 9:30 to 9:34.
So we're about 10 minutes so far?
Yes. And they
Okay.
haven't done anything.
Okay.
From that point, from 9:34 to 9:40, they stood in the ring and the crowd chanted. So, yeah, the crowd chanted. They went through the whole gambit of chants. They were chanting "Fuck you, Roman." They were just simply booing Roman. "Let's go, Sammy." Whatever chant you can think of. Um,
They didn't do a CM Punk chant.
well, no one. Yeah, those are gone now.
That would have been funny though.
I did. I don't know if you caught it too, but so before Sami Zayn came out, and they're just. Uh, oh, important thing to note here: Roman Reigns came out first.
Yeah, he used his
And I know
champion's
why.
privilege.
Well, I know why they did it because they wanted the champion, the pop for Sami Zayn, and B, they wanted the moment where Roman Reigns is getting there, getting booze. So it made sense why they did it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't like when they do that.
so yeah, Roman Reigns is in the ring. He's waiting for Sammy, and you got the hard camera on him, and he says, "They're all they're disrespecting me, but I'm about to show them. I'm about to show all of them." so he's so he's talking to the crowd there, but he's not yelling at the crowd. He's just talking
Right.
to the camera about the crowd. I'm about to show all of them. Thought that was a great little touch.
He does that all the time though.
Yeah, when the Roman Reigns off mic doesn't miss. Like during the match, he's talking to Sammy's wife. He's like, I was trying to provide for you guys.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought that was Sammy's mom.
Oh,
So,
well, I mean, Sami Zayn's not getting any Scarlets.
and then they smooched, and then like, huh, they must do things a little weird in Montreal.
Man, he pulled her in too. Like he didn't
Yeah.
go. He like really get over here.
Ugh.
He like he like really grabbed her, took control. He was a man. He was gonna anyway. um,
So yeah, you're right. It took forever to start.
yeah, it did take forever to start, but I was okay with it because it was a moment.
I wasn't
It
because it
reminded
was
me.
all they did was fucking cheer, and then they'd look at each other, and then they cheer some more, and then they look around, and then they cheer some more, and then they look at each other, and then they cheer some more, and then they look around. It's fucking get to it. God damn.
Well, there was two moments that reminded me of this. One was Rod Van Dam versus John Cena at One Night Stand. I remember that was one that was like that hostile. The other one was the Icon versus Icon, The Rock versus Hogan, and the pop that was there before. And
Mm.
they were doing the same thing, looking around. The crowd's just going crazy. I got goosebumps when Hogan started hulking up after so long, but that was in the match. He gets hit with the people's elbow, and then he starts hulking up. And it's like, oh my god, I thought I'd never see that again. um, but yeah, it just reminded me of that. It's just like one of those special moments where the crowd is just crazy.
They were
But
crazy.
we finally get into the actual match. And the match, it started out pretty Roman Reigns esque. He's dominating the match. He's taking the crowd completely out of it. He's talking shit to Sammy's wife. um,
Or mom, depending on who you ask.
yeah, no one was, the crowd was just like, just deflated. And then all of a sudden, Sami Zayn catches Roman with a clothesline, turns the momentum around. The crowd starts getting back into it. Um, there was a moment where Sami Zayn cap caught Roman Reigns. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns was going for a Superman punch. Sami Zayn caught him, did an exploder suplex into the corner. We get a tease of him hitting the Helluva kick, but he didn't. Roman Reigns then got him with the Superman punch. There was a bunch of false finishes in between then.
My God, there was a
Um,
bunch of false finishes.
there was one where he actually did hit the Helluva kick. I knew the crowd was going to go crazy, and they did. Um, that was the nearest fall of the match. All of a sudden, I forgot how we got here, but all of a sudden, we find ourselves in the corner, and the referee is behind Sami Zayn, and Roman Reigns throws a back elbow, hits the referee. Now the referee's knocked out. Because, it's a Roman match, we got to get the ref knocked out somehow.
Right.
So the ref's knocked out. That's ref number one.
Well,
And
he's pushed in the corner, and then Sammy is pushed into the corner on top of him, Roman Reigns is elbowing Sammy, but the force of those elbows are transferring through Sammy into the referee. So the referee is incapacitated throughout the rest of the match.
Well, it looked like one of the elbows caught the ref.
Oh, to me it looked like he was elbowing Sammy, and the guy was like, ah.
Yeah, I thought one of them caught him, but I
Okay,
don't know.
doesn't matter.
So yeah, the ref goes down. Out comes Jimmy Uso, the one who's not allowed in Canada, but he's in Canada. Probably stuck him in through the luggage, and he super kicks Sami Zayn, and that leads. Now, here's the thing: he super kicks Sami Zayn, and then he goes up and does the Uso splash. My problem with this little segment is he hits the Uso splash. Not 2 seconds after he hits it and rolls out of the ring is another ref. Is you telling me the ref coming to the ring didn't just see that? Like it was 2 seconds ago, and you're saying you didn't see that?
Right.
Like the ref got to the ring way too fast. That's all I'm saying. Like, okay, if you're if you're the when they do the thing where the ref runs from the back, like okay, now you can believe that he didn't see it. But this ref was in the ring like 2 seconds after the splash, so there's no way he didn't see it. That led to another close near fall. Sami Zayn kicked out. Fast forwarding a little bit, the ref gets knocked out again. Now out comes Jey Uso.
Who just
Jey
stands there?
Uso, yeah. So Roman Reigns is about to hit Sami Zayn with the chair. Jey Uso comes in the ring and he stands in between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Pretty much they replay the the scenario from the Royal Rumble, except it's Sami Zayn and Jey Uso instead of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So Roman hands Jey Uso the chair and tells him to hit Sami Zayn. Jey hesitates. Again, it's the exact same scenario that was at the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns is talking shit to Sami Zayn. Um, Jey Uso's looking at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is like, "Why aren't you doing it?" And then he pie faces Jey Uso. before we get Before that gets elaborated on, Sami Zayn he runs and gets a spear, or he tries to spear Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns moves, so he puts the spear on Jey Uso, and then Roman Reigns wins off of a
His spear.
spear. Yeah, and that's how the match ended.
And then Owens comes out and stuns everybody. Sam,
Everybody
Sammy hell of a kicks.
except for Sammy.
Right. And Sammy hell of a kicks Roman. And yeah, then we go off air.
Go off the air with the crowd happy
Yes.
because the hometown heroes um, were triumphant and standing tall at the end of the night. Now, one thing what you should have noticed there was number one, Sammy. Uh, so after the spear, we didn't, nothing, no follow up from Jey Uso. So was he mad at Sammy? You know,
Right.
and then when Kevin Owens is out stunning everybody, he even stunned Paul Heyman, but there was no Jey Uso.
No.
Like he was still down from that spear. I don't know. He might still be down.
It was just really weird. He comes out and he just stands there. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. And yeah, then they just reenact the scene from Royal Rumble, and then you never see him again after Sammy spears him. After little tiny Sammy spears Jey Uso.
Yeah, he was down way long. Um, and then at the end of the night, you have Kevin Owens. him and Sami Zayn are staring each other down. They didn't say anything to each other. They just looked at each other. Kevin Owens rolled out of the ring
Mouth breathing.
and walked up the ramp, and we have Sami Zayn standing on his own in the ring. And the crowd goes wild because Sami Zayn is in the ring by himself.
Yeah.
And that was your elimination chamber.
Boy, was it disappointing.
You didn't like it?
No, I thought
I
the.
thought every. Mhm.
Go ahead. No, go
No, go ahead. You didn't. I liked it. You didn't like it. Let's
ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah, I
Give it to me.
thought the main event was overbooked. What it should have been was Roman Reigns just beating the piss out of Sami Zayn. For Sami Zayn to have any believable shot against Roman's laughable. The after the just before the second ref bump when Sammy kicks out of like the third or second spear, that's when I just like, okay, now it's just getting retarded, because that's all it was. They were just kicking out of each other's finishers, and more people came out, and Jimmy came out to do something, Jay came out to do nothing, Paul Heyman was there. There was a part where just before he got stunned, he said, oh, I always wanted to be with you, I never wanted to be with Roman. And yeah, I don't know. It seems like that they were trying to build up for this. I don't know. Just like a big letdown. And I don't know why Sammy kissed his mom. I've never kissed my mom like that.
Mm. That's because it was his wife.
Oh.
That's the kids that were there with him.
Oh, I thought that was his brothers and sisters.
The little kids?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's his wife.
Oh. Yeah.
Again, he's not getting Charlotte. What? What? Charlotte? He's not getting. He's not getting Scarlet
Mm.
or anything. You think Sammy's pulling those kind of numbers? Come on, he's got to. He's still got to be in the game, but he's not Brock Lesnar. He's not pulling Sable. He could probably. Eh,
But
he could revisit that marriage thing now. Maybe he could. Maybe he could do a little better.
maybe.
Being a famous wrestler now.
I just know that Kevin Owens' significant other is, um, he won. I'll just say that.
Oh, I haven't seen her.
Especially considering he's just a big fat guy. And he needs to learn how to
He
breathe
outkicked
through
his
his nose
coverage.
for once.
Well, he's probably got a deviated septum. Is that
And
what
he
it's
needs to
called?
breathe through his nose. But
He's got, your your culture. You got those narrow noses.
man, that's
It's hard
twice.
for a lot of you to.
That's twice. Why you gotta bring us up like that? Why you gotta demean us? You don't know the
It's hard
struggles
for a
that we
lot of you
have.
guys to breathe out of your noses.
You don't know the
I
struggles we've had
notice.
with deviated septums.
Well, I was just saying, I noticed that a lot of you guys, those noses, those narrow noses, it's hard for a lot of you to breathe out of them.
See, now if I say a big nose joke, I get canceled. God, you see the double standard here?
Yeah, you can't give it back.
No, that's
I'll
bullshit.
give it back.
No, you'll get canceled too. You'll get me
No.
canceled by proxy. Oh, you
Like,
didn't.
oh,
You didn't stand up. You didn't stop him.
yeah.
So yeah, the women's elimination chamber match, that should have been the only elimination chamber of the evening. I thought that was stupid to have the U.S. title for an elimination chamber. The Lashley Lesnar match that was just disappointing, and there's a lot of action, but the finish was dull. We don't care about Edge or Phoenix. The men's match was all right. I thought it was surprising that Theory held on to the title as well, but at least he gets to continue his run. And then yeah, we'll see what happens with Roman. I thought that they would move to Sammy and Jay like they should, but
Well, they did, or they
did
are.
they? Are they moving to Sammy and Jay, or is Jay now feuding with Roman?
It's almost as if it be. I don't know. Maybe they saw, okay, it's a little too predictable for Jay to turn on Sammy, so
Just do the
let's
same thing we did at the Royal Rumble.
yeah,
That's not
keep the
predictable at
people
all.
guess.
Okay.
Let's keep the people. Let's not give it away just yet. And we're still gonna get there, but let's wait a little bit on it.
All right.
I don't know. That's just my guess, but
All right. I guess we'll have to see what happens.
yeah. But overall, I did have fun with the pay-per-view, and we are now full blown on the road to WrestleMania. No more stops, no more pit stops, no more restroom breaks, nothing.
Nope.
Next stop is WrestleMania.
Should be
Well,
interesting at least.
I mean, you're gonna have Raw as bathroom breaks, I guess. But aside from that, yeah, we will see how WrestleMania goes. But of course, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button. Hello to the new viewer. We're actually on our way out, but uh, until next time, top guys out.